if your army is down bad and you got 100,000 people on the opposite side, and you got to go to war.
Fuck it, baby. Believe in yourself.
Let's go.
300, right? Man. The Spartans.
Yeah.
You think those 300 guys? That's what I love. Do you think those 300 guys were sitting on that hill? 10,000 fucking Persians, like, boys, I don't know if we can do this. You know what I mean? No. They were like, fuck you. I'm better than all of you, motherfuckers. And they believe it. Like you said earlier, right? Belief, right? They didn't believe it to that. You gotta believe it. Even when people don't see it, you gotta fucking see it. You know?
That's what creates the reality.
Yeah.
You win the war when you believe you've already won.
100%.
That's when the war is won.
And guess what? Big mind, but that's what having no fear is believing that you're going to win no matter what.
Yeah.
Because if you believe you're going to win no matter what are you scared of?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's it, you know?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 714 podcast. I'm here with Big Z and Ram.
How we doing?
Yes, sir. And you guys out here dressed to the nines. Didn't get the invite.
I know that's a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, everyone. I'll take that on me. You know what I mean? I didn't give Shyam. I didn't give anyone the memo. I just decided to wake up, smoke a cigar this morning and put on a suit.
He forgot to schedule the email.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't get an email. Yeah, it's my bad.
Dressed like the top G with the glasses too.
I knew someone was gonna say. I forgot I had these. Yeah. But I wore the glasses and everything.
Put them on.
No. I can see. I don't have cataracts. Like top G, I can see. His vision's very good. He may be the top G, but he always talks about his vision being fucked up. So you know what I mean? He may have 10 times the amount of money, right? 10 times the amount of women, 10 times the amount of fame. But I got better vision than that. That's why I don't need him. That's it.
Better dressed too.
No, come on, man, bro. People are gonna come for me now. You know what I mean?
He comes in with a t-shirt, bro. Like,
listen, but what's his brother? Tristan, right?
Yeah,
his brother?
Tristan dresses nice.
He dresses up to the nines. I like Tristan. Yeah. I like the actually. Out of the two, I'm not gonna lie, I like Tristan more.
Tristan, Is he older or
he's younger?
He's younger.
Right? Yeah.
He's bigger though. He's like fucking huge.
Oh, he's huge, bro. He's fucking massive, man.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? The cigars thing, I was on that beforehand. Now whenever I smoke cigars, like, oh, you're trying to be like Tate. Motherfucker, I was trying to give myself cancer before that shit, bro. You know what I mean? I knew the side effects of that shit, bro. Don't fucking pull that shit on me, boys.
Mans was giving me cigars like my freshman year of college and high school. Like, oh shit.
I've been on that shit. You're like,
I've been on that shit. But what do you guys honestly like? What do you guys think of that? Because I think there's a lot of people that are really touchy about
on cigars.
On Tate. On cigars. I mean, we can go on there, but no. What do you think? Like, because I think a lot of people think Tate is a really controversial figure, as we saw now. Funny enough, your podcast is like right at the time that people don't know what's going on with him right now. He's in prison, but no one knows if he's released. Yeah. What do you think about that?
I saw that video. He got arrested, him and his brother. They started walking down. I don't know which city he was in, but they got in this cop car, and I saw him like smiling. Did you see? Like he was like just smiling in the car. So I don't know if it's real, or he most likely just got out because he has the money. Yeah, like he has like 36 supercars,
dude. Yeah,
houses everywhere. Yeah. Only takes private jets. So I could kind of see like he has some sort of power. So I don't know. And he also talked about it that when I go to jail, he said when it's the Matrix or whatever, like it's the system that's going to put me there. And just believe that whatever headline it is, it's not true. And how much of that you want to believe, is up to you.
Yep.
But there are some parts where, yes, he is very, people can really argue with him because there are some points that he has about women that are borderline, like sexist.
100%,
So, there are some points, but at the same time, he's also become an inspiration to some people in which, like, the work ethic he shows, the discipline he has, the fitness journey he's been on, like, I don't know, 4-time kickboxing champion, right?
Yeah.
Let's see, chess master.
Yep.
And all these disciplines that he's gained. It's an inspiration. Like this guy is dude. And an inspiration.
I think you hit it on the head. I think a big thing is people will take these clips that he has out of context, saying that they're sexist or whatever, but they're basing it off maybe a 5-second clip.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And
everything's on clips now. Like it's like 30-second boom, and then they think that's the whole story when really that's only like a slice of the pie. Right there.
I think that's scary though, especially a generation for us, especially for you in this podcast industry. That's scary because you don't know if someone gets on here, says something, and then someone else on the internet just clips it, and you're fucked. Then your whole life's ruined, dude.
Yeah.
There was this.
I can't control it. Like some people have clipped stuff.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been that bad. It was just like funny things, but
that's fun.
It's I can't control what people are gonna do with the content I posted out to the public. It's gonna happen. You know?
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
But you know, I think that's life. I think you could tell someone that a tomato is red nowadays, and they'll say, "Fuck you, it's yellow." Like seriously, you know. And it's like it's mindless shit like this that people are arguing about. When the real bigger issues that are going on in the world, people have no intellectual like conversations about it.
Exactly.
And I think that's the scariest thing, you know.
Yeah.
Is people not having a mind for themselves, but just accepting what people are telling them now.
They become followers and not students.
Exactly, and I think sadly school is making you a follower and doesn't keep you to does not teach you how to be a student, dude.
Yeah.
Like at all. I don't know about you two, but in high school, I mean, he knows because he was around me in high school. My dad used to fucking almost kill me because talk about Andrew Tate. Think about having Andrew Tate as your father.
Yeah.
I'm not even shitting you, dude.
Up, bro.
British accent at all. That's my dad.
Yeah. We talked about that last time.
Yeah. Fucking bad, dude. Well, how was high school for you? What do you think, Ron?
Oh yeah, very similar.
Yeah.
There'll be times when I'll be like, I don't even want to go home. I mean, I'm not saying I got abused or something.
Yeah.
Like, let's just make that
no one's been abused here.
Yeah.
Dad, mom, no one's laid a hand on us.
Yeah.
It's like, look at these scars.
Yeah, I fell off my bike. That's all it is. No, but in high school, it was just the culture that we come from. It was very tough. In a sense that, we had a lot of privilege growing up. Of course, like we both grew up in like Southern California. Went to the same high school.
Yeah,
but going to high school, especially where we went, it had this toxic culture where you had to be that one person. That one person definition where we are from. In specificity. Oh my god,
it's okay now. It's all right. I got CT up the ass.
Yeah, I have a big list. But basically, it would be like people getting like A's, like because like regular Indian shit, like something Mindy Kaling would write a story about. But sorry, I had to do a little shade. But basically, it was like that. So if you weren't that person, it would be hard to like survive. So when I graduated high school, went to college. I'm like, all this shit was bullshit.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. The expectations, the societal expectations and parental expectations. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, expectations, like, it's just like, they pretty much teach you to be a worker. And I'm not saying being a worker is bad or wrong. Like,
that's what society expects. I think how I see it is everyone has the potential to do whatever they want. It's literally unlimited. There's no capacity for any human being.
Yep.
But when you put people in a system where the expectation is only this much, when they're capable of this much, then they'll fall in line with whatever the expectation is, unless you think for yourself, unless you think like a student, unless you see what everyone else is doing and realize, I'm not built for that. Like, I could do more than what everyone else is doing. And that's how you get literally every successful person on the earth.
100%. I think there's a quote from Alexander the Great. Don't come after me if I don't get it right completely. But it's to him who thinks everything is possible, nothing is impossible, right? And that's to what you're saying. But what's crazy is in school, you almost, at least for me, school felt like for me, fucking, I can't do anything. Because coming from the background I came from, my dad was never really, didn't like immerse me in the kind of Indian or Punjabi culture, Sikh culture, not much. He kind of took me away from that. And I honestly think that was really, really good because what it ended up doing is kind of putting me with a lot of different groups of people, right? Like I had a lot of Eastern European friends because of my upbringing as well, and a lot of family members, a lot of Greek friends, Spanish friends, different people from around the world. And I think if you have that kind of exposure, that's real learning as opposed to just going to a school and getting a grade.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I hated history when I was in school. As soon as I came out of it, dude, I love history. I read fucking history. Yeah. And I've so many people I've talked to. It's like, oh yeah, man, in high school or in middle school, I fucking hated it. Even in college, I hated it. As soon as I came out, that shit's fucking cool, man. I'm like, yeah dude, So it kind of speaks volumes to the education system and what it's making us be. And what's really boggling to me is, I know this is going to step on a couple of people's toes, so I'm going to say this in a very articulate and elegant way. The system now that they're teaching is nothing like I was through, and I think Ram is through, even you, Shyam, were through. Because now they're trying to, at least from what I've been hearing, they're trying to fucking make you figure out what you are at a young age. Shit, dude, I didn't even know. I wanted to be a doctor. This is true. I wanted to be a doctor in high school. I took an anatomy class. I did so bad, and I tried. Like, I'm not even fucking with you guys. Yeah, I tried.
You studied.
I studied my ass off. I remember this. Sanamatsu. I don't know if you remember Sanamatsu.
Yeah,
old Japanese woman, right? I go to her class. I think I'm doing good. She never tells me anything. I'm like, well, there's a test, right? I take the test. fucking easy, man. There's, it's just labeling shit. That's a femur, that's a fucking whatever. Easy. Get the test back. 25%, and I fucking tried. The Santa Monica, I get an email saying that we have to have a parent-teacher conference, to discuss classes.
Yeah.
My dad comes in the room. His fucking face looked like Stalin's about to execute someone. It was terrible. And I'm looking at him like, dear God, I'm fucked here. Sits down. He goes, well, what did my son do? In a very thick British accent, he said, what did my son do? And the teacher goes, no, he didn't do anything. It's just, I think we should talk about a different career change. And I looked at him and he goes, he wants to be a doctor, he should be doing all right in your class. He goes, so that's what we wanted to talk to you about. He got a 25% on the very first exam of the year, and that was supposed to be the easiest exam. I think you should do something else. That fucking destroyed me, dude. Yeah. And when I walked out of there, my dad told me, he's like, doctor, you can't even, I fucking put, where your elbow is, your whatever the fuck? I put that as your fucking femur, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I was...
You fucked up.
It wasn't meant to be. Listen, if I was a doctor, there'd be many deaths here, Yeah. So, but what's funny is, if I would have listened to those people and would have been like, oh yeah, I don't want to do this, I'm going to do something else, right? Mm-hmm. Even a choir teacher told me, like Mr. Halep, he told me, he was like the first one to tell me, go into entertainment. And I was like, I don't really want to do that shit. If he fucking never told me and actually made me think for myself, fuck, bro. Where would I be? I'd just be another number, maybe doing like some, basic degree, not getting anything out of my life.
Yeah.
So what's scary to me is people not having like a parent. Like, I'm lucky I had that kind of a parent that was strict with me. And I was like, hey, don't fuck around. Like, figure out what you want to do, Yeah. For most people, I saw the whole high school experience for them was like, no, you have to stick to these norms. Be an engineer, be a doctor, be this. With my dad, it was never that. It was, listen, whatever the fuck you do not half-ass it. And if you half-ass it, fuck you. Good luck. Yeah. And I think that's a big thing,
Yeah, somehow for me, I don't know. I don't think anybody's ever told me to be extraordinary. Yeah. It was just something in me. Like, I can't explain. I remember at like 5 years old thinking in school, like in kindergarten, why are we here?
Yeah.
Like, why am I in class? Like, what is this all about? And I asked my friend that, and he's like, well, we're here to, get a good grade so we could get into college. I'm like, sure. And why would you do that? Why go to college? And he said, well, we should, get a good job. So why do that? Mm-hmm. Well, we need to make a lot of money. Well, why do that? And he said, to be happy. I'm already happy. What I base my happiness on is not what society expects. Yeah. That ladder to climb is not something that I want. And when I realized that nobody else is going to do it for me, like my parents aren't going to come in here and tell me, okay, this is exactly what's going to make you happy.
Yep.
Only you know that. Only you and your own thoughts can figure that out. And when I understood that, like that simple principle of it's my responsibility, my whole life changed.
Yeah.
Because then I took it upon myself and started to like read the books, gain the knowledge. Like, what do most people not do? And I started doing that things. Like, what do rich people do? They read these types of books. I looked up business books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I read that at 14 years old, right? That led me to another book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Read that.
Very good book.
I started watching Gary Vee videos, and that led me onto other speakers. And all the learning came from my choice to go in a different direction. And a famous poet by the name of Robert Frost, you might have heard of him.
Yep.
He said, I chose the path less traveled by, and that's made all the difference. And that used to be in one of my middle school English teacher's class. And I read that like literally every day. And one day it clicked. I was like, I have to go the path less traveled by. And that stuck with me.
And I think you're doing just that, doing what you're already doing. I mean, look at the room you're in, right? You're already doing a podcast like you said you want to do. You're not taking the path that most people take. Yeah. And I think that's the purest way of living life.
Yeah, as long as, I think Gary Vee put it best. He said, make happiness your North Star.
Yeah.
Happiness, not money, not anything else, and not other people's happiness, your happiness. Because if you can't be happy and love yourself first, you can't give to anybody else.
Yep.
Like you'll make everyone else feel bad if you're not happy, right? And I think we've been in a lot of rooms where people are like that, where they're making sure other people are happy, but that's not doing it for them. That's not making them fulfilled.
Yeah.
So instead, I try to, I spend all my energy working harder on myself, making sure that I'm happy. I get the knowledge and learning so that in any situation I could give it. I could start things like I could build a clothing brand and build a podcast and do what I love. And hopefully that spreads joy to other people, you know?
So you, in a way, you kind of do this whole thing to inspire others to do the same thing that you had, right?
Yeah.
Which is open your mind and take a step back and be curious.
Be curious.
And be like, why?
Why? Why is one of the greatest questions you could ask yourself.
My friend, I think that's why we went to Mars. I think why is why we went to Mars. Why is why humanity's keeps going where it is.
We went to Mars or we're going to Mars?
We're going to Mars. I'm fucking dumb, bro. No, we went to the moon. That's what's sorry.
Yeah.
But we landed on the moon because of why, right? If no one ever looked up in the sky and said, "What's that big round thing over there?" Now, how do I get there? No one ever asked that. We'd be here, you know?
Yeah. Some people might say that it's because of the Russians.
Fucking Jesus Christ, conspiracy theorists, man. Yeah, actually, I was the one that put us on the fucking moon. Yeah, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
Past life.
Yeah.
I think the story is Sputnik, the first satellite in space, was built by the Russians, and then America looked at this like, shit, we can't let them get away with it, and so they built like all this space industry and made it happen.
Dude, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall on the Russian one, you know? The Soviet Union, you get shot for fucking sneezing the wrong way. You got a guy in there. Yuri, what do you think? Stalin telling us we need to get satellite on moon. Igor, I'm going to tell you something right now. Let's take that piece of junk over there, throw it on the fucking sky, tell the CIA we got something, they'll do it. You think so? Yes. That's what I think is exactly what happened in that room. You know what I mean?
Tell them to do it,
man. Yeah. No, fuck this. They're going to do it. The Americans will do it. We'll pretend we did it first. Fuck it. It's okay. I like your plan. Okay. That's probably what happened, dude.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
That's crazy, though, that happened in the 60s. In the 60s, JFK decided, like, have you heard that speech? Have you listened to that?
I have not, my friend.
In,
I have not.
Rice University?
I've heard that. I sampled it one time in one of my songs.
Really? That's hard as fuck.
Yeah.
Everyone should go and listen to that JFK Rice University speech. It is fucking incredible because the passion he ensued in that speech to all of America, he said, we are going to the moon in 10 years. Like he said, in a decade or less. Made that kind of commitment, and they did it in, I think, 8.
Shit, there you go.
Yeah. That's fucking wild.
Isn't that crazy? The humans in general, though, it's so fucking fascinating to me how they advance, like how we advance so much. There is, I know there's like this...
Especially in the past 100 years.
Dude, but that makes me think... Now, this is fucking funny because we just talked about conspiracy theories. This makes me honestly think, you know, I forget how many, now don't shoot the messenger, but I believe it was like, I want to say 100... roughly 100,000 years, humans anatomically, like the way that you and me are standing right now in Rom, we've been looking like this and thinking like this. There's a whole piece of history that was completely forgotten for like a long ass time. Then all of a sudden we start with the fucking pyramids. I don't think so. No. I don't think someone randomly decided on a fucking Egyptian summer's eve, let's just build a fucking huge pyramid. You know what I mean? I don't think that's how.
Yeah, the aliens did it.
Oh, fucking wrong. Come on, man. No.
You can't talk about conspiracy theories.
My question is like, what was even before us then? You know, like what kind of technologies were they using? Are we even looking in the right way?
They still to this day don't know how they built the pyramids.
Dude, you know about Greek fire? Do you know what Greek fire is, any of you guys?
No.
That's what I mean, bro. And this is like pretty recent history. The Byzantines, right? Eastern Romans, right? Paint you a picture here. The Ottomans, they're fucking banging on the door saying, let me in, let me in. They're saying, no, not today. Please, give us another day. They're dying. The Byzantines are fucked right now. Some guy, I don't know how they did, but there was something called like, almost like a napalm, and they put it on these ships, and they basically had flamethrowers on ships called Greek fire. Just because of these ships, they were able to deter like the Ottomans for another 100 or 200 years, just based on this fire alone. To this day, they don't know how the fuck they made this fire. And it was supposed to be so like damaging, it would stick on the water. So imagine that, right?
Yeah.
You're in the water in a boat. Last thing you're gonna think is fire coming at you because you're in the water. You're gonna be on one of those Ottoman boats, you know. Me and my boy Mehmed, we're fucking about to take the Greeks. All right.
You think you're doing well?
Yeah. I see a bronze dragon. This fire whoosh right in my face. Fuck! I better hit the water. I go in the water. I'm still burning, and then I'm fucked. What a shitty way to go.
I know.
But like, to your point, that's something that we still don't know how to build. You know, the ancient Library of Alexandria completely lost. All that stuff was apparently lost to time. Insane.
What if I said they do know how to make it, but we just don't know about it?
Oh shit! Continue on.
think about it. I mean, we're in a topic of conspiracy theories and aliens, right? But basically,
I think some of it's factual. We're not only making that shit.
No. The Greeks didn't just decide like the aliens gave them fire. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, the alien thing we don't know, but I'm saying like this is true, right?
Yeah.
Like, all I'm saying is, if we did create this, it was like hundreds and thousands of years
Not
ago,
even, like maybe I want to say 400 years old, 500 years old. Not too bad.
Of what?
The Greek fire stuff. Yeah.
Because
It's not too bad. It was there for a while.
Because think about it, we have nuclear power enough to destroy the world, and I feel like I was thinking it was like a couple of seconds or something. It's some weird stat like that. But
that
public
bomb
will not
crazy.
know. Yeah, it's just like, so they probably do have all these like ancient weaponry or like, what is it? Goblet of fire? What was it
Goblet of fire. Greek fire. Close.
Yeah.
Close but no cigar, you know?
Yeah, like Greek fire sounds like a scary version of like Agent Orange. You guys know Agent Orange?
Funny enough, it was almost like not Agent Orange, but napalm. It was literally like napalm. It was like napalm, but like just a fuck. I think instead of fucking styrofoam, they used pine needles or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some shit like
So
that.
maybe evolved into that too. Maybe
yeah.
that too. So like,
There was some type of science.
Yeah.
I think some people knew their shit. Like they survived till this long. I mean, we're here.
Yeah, exactly. We're the product of all these generations surviving, obviously.
Yeah.
So someone must know something, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
But now it's gone to this place where, as human beings, we're just so above every other life form that we can't even relate. Like we are not surviving anymore. We're like thriving. Where we don't have to obey our genetic code, meaning, yes, we had to eat, yes, we have to reproduce and all that stuff, but we don't only have to do that. Like, people can become astronauts and do, like, make tables and create computers. Like, that's, when you ask, like, what does an ant do? A leaf-eating ant, and has to, like, go and get leaves and bring it back to the colony. That's what it does, and then obeys the queen. We know that's what ants do, but what does a human being do?
I think you hit the nail on the head, which is our necessity to survive, like most animals, was food. Once food became abundant, everyone asked the question that you asked: why?
Why?
What do we do?
Yeah, what do we do with all
Is
this
there a bigger
time?
purpose? Like, that's when religion started coming about. Is there something that has given me this time? You know, but it's weird how all that happens. Yeah, all that happened because we had an abundance of food.
That's how
what
the
it was.
Greek philosophers and everything. They just, I think they had so much time. They just sat in nature and just thought about different ideas and came through all these quotes we love.
I mean, think about it, Shyam. If you, me, and Rom sat for like fucking weeks in a cave, drank nothing but wine, had no technology, I'm pretty sure we'd come up with maybe one or two pretty decent ideas. You know, that's literally how it was back in the day. You know,
exactly.
It's funny. What's really funny to me is how people, like, you know, you see these people saying, "Oh my God, the ancient Greeks and the Romans were so fucking sophisticated." Yeah, they were, but you see what we're living in now. Like, we're driving in fucking cars and things. You know what I mean?
And even not all of them were at that level. They were also fucking douches and fucking people that
dudes
don't
with
give a
sticks and
fuck.
spears still, bro. Yeah.
They didn't. Yeah, there were some people that were fucking stupid as shit.
Yeah, but I wonder what that is. I mean, it can't just be food, right? Because there's probably a bunch of other places that had an abundance of food. So it had to be something else that made people think, you know?
Yeah, well, I think one of the reasons is when the food became abundant, they kind of put a monetary value on it. So in a sense, it is abundant, but you have to work for it still because food is not free, right?
Yeah.
So once that started happening, I believe that's when we started saying, like, why? Why is this the case? But the people who didn't ask why, which are the vast number of people in this world, is, okay, this is how you get food. You work for it. So that's why we have all of this.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, the system made it that way too. Like, the capitalistic system creates some of that. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm also going to give, like, the case of you have to kind of work to make the society fulfilled to, like, I know I talk the fucking education system a lot and stuff. I really do.
Don't worry, I do too.
Yeah, I know. I heard earlier. But at the end of the day, like, every job is important.
Yeah,
Of course,
Yeah, and I'll give an example. Like, I go on road trips sometimes, and you stop by like a weird ass like gas station because you need to piss, right?
in the middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere, like you might get kidnapped, right?
It's like what is that city on the way to Vegas. What's that? It's like Barstow or some shit.
Barstow's
brother, you'll fucking
city.
eat Charles Manson in Barstow, bro. Fuck that shit.
You guys
dude.
think Barstow's bad? I had a road trip from Dallas, Texas to Irvine, California.
With your brown ass, good luck. That's all I gotta say, bro.
It's okay. I almost only got robbed twice. Only twice.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Oh yeah, dude.
Only twice.
The
Only
thing
twice.
is, it's cool. Texas is a
Almost
great.
killed.
Yeah, Texas is a great state, dude. Dallas is like people like like our people are there. Like like you're like yo,
People
this is
of color,
hype.
huh?
Like I
Yeah.
can speak my language when I go to like a Costco or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but right when you get out of Dallas, on the other hand,
Fort Worth. You cross into Fort Worth.
no, Fort Worth is a little north. We went
Okay.
like east, coming to towards New Mexico. First, okay, Texas is a lot bigger than you think it is. It's think it's
huge.
big, but it's a lot bigger than that.
Really shit.
Yeah, like driving there, I'm just like, bro, I'm tripping. I'm still in Texas. Like, but there are all these small towns. I feel like people just like walk around with shotguns. It's really interesting. But besides that,
Love that. No.
I love that. But getting to the
love
point,
that.
like when I go to a bathroom to stop by, and like in the bathroom's clean, I'm like, somebody did a good job. Like,
Yeah, somebody had to do this.
yeah, somebody had to
Or
do
something
it.
was so bad they had to clean it up. You know what I mean? I go either way,
Yeah,
dude.
at the end of the day, like being a CEO is a good job. Being a janitor is a good. There's no bad job. They're just bad people. That's all it is.
Yeah,
like
every position, when you think about it in the grand scheme of all of it, like for this building to work, like there has to be people that maintaining
Yeah.
it. There has to be gardeners that trim everything. Like
Yeah.
everything comes into play
Yeah.
for there to be a working society.
Exactly. Imagine everybody started making a lot of money and just became dropshippers and OnlyFans models. What would
Yeah.
society become?
What's fucking scary is that's what it's looking like with our generation,
Don't
bro.
scare me, man.
Dude, you're scaring because honestly, I mean, I look around. If you ask a kid nowadays, right, what do you want to be? YouTuber, streamer, OnlyFans, dude.
But the
what
thing
the
is,
fuck,
now
bro?
that I'm thinking about it, if most people are in that group, then
Yeah.
the people that do these common jobs that right now, that's going to be the most paid.
Dude, that's what I was gonna say,
because
yep.
the demand has gone up for those and
It
the
flips.
supply shrinks. Yeah, basic
flips.
economics.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
might stick-
Economic money is money, baby.
I might stick to accounting then.
Yeah. I might go get a trade job now. Fuck this shit, yeah. No, but
Exactly.
dude, honestly, I know a lot of my friends that took trade jobs that are fucking like, 22, 23, making good money already. Like one of my good friends, we don't talk much anymore. But last time I talked to him, Cody Phillips.
Maybe.
Yeah. So he went to our high school and stuff. Cool kid. Kid went to a trade school. I saw him in like Rome, just fucking kicking it. And he's
yeah.
like our age, paid for a whole trip, paid for everything, like easy with a trade job.
Yeah.
Fuck, bro, that's pretty good money, man.
As
Yeah.
long as you enjoy it, that's the biggest thing. If
Yep.
that guy wants to
That's what he likes,
the trade,
man.
yeah, and then
And to each
go
their own.
go to
I
Rome.
think that's a respectable line of work, man. It's harder to fucking imagine, waking up every day using manual labor every fucking day. That's a hard man. That's a tough person, man.
Yeah.
That takes a fucking lot of energy to do every day. Big respect to those kind of people. Because I mean, all three of us are in a really privileged state to be sitting here, having a nice conversation with these beautiful mics and these nice suits, nice outfits. It's fantastic, right? But most people don't have that privilege,
Yeah.
Especially people like even in India, the caste system. That's something that even like Sikhs, we don't do that, right? We say they don't do it, they still do it. It's fucking
No,
corruption, bro.
they
They say
still
they don't,
do
but
it.
they still do it.
Yeah,
Well, they have Jats, Tarkan, they have a system. They say, no, we don't believe in it, but there's different types of Sikhs. Like, no, fuck, bro. You know what I mean?
It's true. I actually have a story about that.
Yeah.
It's funny because, by the way, remember how last time we talked about the job shipping business and stuff,
Yeah.
right? Right now, I kind of took that part out and it's strictly just music because I'm just like, I have to enjoy what I do.
Okay.
I was enjoying. So with that in mind, I started doing like a side business of the business to make a little bit more cash DJing, right? So I started DJing. The first show I did, it was for Telugu. If people don't know Telugu, it's a language in India, right? So I'm like, cool, I speak that language, I'll do it. And this guy didn't give me any details of the party. He's like, show up, hear the songs that I want you to play. I'm like, sure. I go in there and I'm just like, interesting, party is all good. Turns out it was a cast party.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I was like, interesting, it's 2022 and we're having cast parties. Like,
So is it just one cast or
just one
One
cast.
cast, okay.
Yeah, they were just partying it up for Diwali.
and that's what they called it? Like that was on the banner right there.
It was on a banner. This guy came up, the host came up, and he's all like, he said it's the cast name, and he's like, we should stick together, like,
Oh, okay.
help each other out. I'm just like, okay, the message is cool and stuff, but like, why cast though? I was like, yo, I'm not even in this cast. Like,
fuck it, they liked you, Rom. They liked what you had to bring. They wanted the beats. They wanted Rom's beats.
I was just working there, you know.
Yeah. Just a job, huh?
Just a job.
Just like we said, everyone's got a job. That was your job that night.
That was my job that night. Yeah, it was crazy. I just when you say like it might still exist, like I'm telling you for sure, like. It's been hundreds of years, but it's still there.
Yeah.
No,
my bad.
No, it's to me. That was really interesting because I wasn't like really around that kind of whole system. So a lot of that shit when I hear about it, I'm like, that makes no fucking sense, man. Like, who's the Donnie that was like, I don't like that guy. Why? Fuck that guy. Why? He's wrong family. You know what I mean? Like, and then he's fucked. Like, you're fucked for generations. That's insane to me. For generations, one person is screwed because of a family name. That's exactly
how it happened.
That's so insane, bro. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, dude.
Yeah, Derek, we're supposed to hate each other, bro.
Technically, if you really want to get into specifics, man, the two parts of me hate each other almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, war child. I told you.
I know, it's just like made up shit too. Like even religions like Hinduism and Muslim, like that's like a big ass conflict or Islam, I should say. That conflict is just made up. Like, why should we hate somebody that believes something different?
You know what's interesting is religion is a really good thing to use for war, right? Because imagine I wanted to take all of you guys, right? Let's say our neighbors, right? Let's make for fucking, I was about to use a country that's currently going through something. Yeah. Let's say we have a country. Let's call it fucking, I don't know. Let's call it Zovar, man. Fuck it. So we have our neighbor country, Zovar. We're in California. And I'm trying to get the California residents to help me join me because there's actually an iron mine over there that I want. However, you guys don't want to fight them because, you know, they're our brothers. I would say this. Listen, I just went to the top of the hill and our God, I'm the king. You know, you guys know I'm the king. He talked to me and he told me that actually our neighbors, the Zovarians, bunch of fucking assholes and we got to go take their land. You guys would be like, well, if that's what the God said, that's what the God said. That's what God's telling you guys. I'm telling you. Here's some proof. I got a piece of rock. It says it right here. Okay, shit. Yeah. Okay, shit. All right, let's go then. But seriously, that's how religion spark wars. You know, I believe every religion in itself is so beautiful.
Popes were so powerful, like
100%.
for hundreds of years. Yeah, because they controlled society.
Yes.
They said, this is what God's telling me. Everyone's like, okay, I'll listen to whatever God says. And then that's what they had to do. They had to obey orders. But not all people. I'm pretty sure there were some smart motherfuckers who's like, why am I following this, right?
Yeah.
Like, and
now they're probably like, why God?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I think it's religion itself, because I don't want to seem like an anti-religion guy, because I'm religious for myself. But I think religion itself is very good, and every single religion has beauty in it. It's the people themselves that teach those religions that corrupt it from the inside. Islam, I think I have so many friends that are Muslim, right? The different Shia and all that. Yeah. And I don't want to screw the names, that's why I kind of cut myself. But like, I'm serious. So, and I have friends, we talk about different types of religion, and we realize like, oh shit, dude, a lot of the stuff we talk about is somewhat the same. Huh. That's interesting. So then why should we hate each other? Just because I believe in something that's a little bit different from you? Why don't I just respect your opinion and think, okay, it's the same kind of, we're believing in similar ideas to the same path. It's just different avenues to the same path, you know? And I think that's a beautiful way to look at it. But you have evil people, and what they want to do is they want to split and divide and conquer and divide.
Yeah,
that's
they want
humanity.
Power over people.
Of course. And they're going to use the beauty of religion and use that beautifulness, right, of religion to corrupt people. And there's so many good things I've seen. I've seen people that fucking, like pray literally pray for days outside of someone's like hospital bed, like fucking praying for days, and somehow that person's healed. That's a miracle. That's the beauty of the religion. You can take that same thing and it's faith. But that same faith can be corrupted. And that's what I think is so sad. Because now you have people that make racist comments like, oh, you're from this religion? Oh, you guys are like this. Well, fuck you. How do you know I'm like that? Just because one person out of a religion's like that, now you're going to paint the whole brush. It's kind of sad, man. It's kind of sad.
It is sad. And I think as some religions, or I think most religions, or not... how do I phrase this?
Yeah. You know what? We're trying not to offend anyone, to be honest with you. I know. Yeah.
Sometimes... the expectation is if you are a part of a certain religion that you should hate the other religion,
yes, exactly, right?
But instead, I think every individual person who believes any faith should understand, okay, all these perspectives exist. Yeah. I don't have to completely believe them, but I should more than likely try to respect it for what it is.
100%. Right? Like even some people that, like one of my good friends is atheist, right?
Yeah.
I'm religious. I believe in a God. He doesn't. We're fucking good friends.
Good friends.
You know what I mean? And people would be like, oh, how does that work? Dude, because we're not talking about religion every day. Like, you know, you have whatever wakes you up in the morning. I have what wakes me up in the morning. That's it. It should be as simple as that. I respect that if you don't believe anything, that's your own prerogative. I'm not going to force you to do anything. Same with you. Let's say you don't believe in something, you're trying to get me to not believe in something. If you're going to try to convince me, I'm going to probably be like, fuck you then. I don't want to then screw your thing, right?
I think as long as you feel like this system of belief is helping you, then that's all that
matters. I think that's enough.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to me how people can. It's just crazy to me, man.
Yeah.
How people can, because isn't it? And I don't want to be, isn't Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all Abrahamic faith, right? So they're all part of the same family.
Yeah.
So that's why I was confused. So if they're part of the same family, even though they have a couple things that are different, you can disagree. You can say I don't like this point of view. But fucking to be like, I want to completely genocide or destroy this. Come on, man. Like let people live. And I get maybe you think your way of the world is better than someone else's. And I think that's where the conflict comes.
And I think it's not even most people. It's just like a one-off person.
It's one-off person that convinces.
That has a bigger voice.
Exactly. And sometimes doesn't give a person a choice, right? Like, look what's happening in Afghanistan. I don't think, if someone's thinking like us, which I think most people do, which is like, hey, it's just, I believe in Allah and that's it. And, so be it. I'm going to keep on with my merry way and live my life according to him. Done. I think most people are probably thinking like that. But there's one fucking guy that's like, I'm going to use this to, completely corrupt everyone. And actually, me and Ron was talking about, actually, before the car right here, this book called, what is it? The
48 Laws of Power.
That's a book I want to read. It's supposed to be a very good book.
Yeah.
That's probably fucking right on the book, man. They're probably reading that book, The Ayatollah Khomeini, the Taliban, they probably got fucking copies of that shit, dude.
100%.
That's what basically they're doing. They're corrupting something beautiful to influence the masses.
I'm glad you brought that up because the book 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene talks about a lot of just like, it's very out there, okay? Because like, the thing is, power can be a beautiful thing and it can be a horrible thing. It's how you look at it.
Yeah.
So if I was a criminal reading that book, I could do, and I really took those lessons. I could do a lot of things. I could destroy the world.
Personally, to me, power is not the control of people. Power is the control of yourself. That's what power is. Like when you could look back throughout history and see every leader, every dictator that tried to influence and be powerful over others and have failed miserably.
Yeah.
You can name hundreds, but when you realize that the power is not in trying to control others, it's in controlling yourself. That's the powerful man. That's somebody who has, the discipline and respect for others and love and caringness. And if you have that, you'll watch everybody else want to be around you. You don't have to tell them to obey you. They'll 100%. Obey because of your own nature.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, for example, let's say I'm a druggie, right? And Zarek is not a druggie.
No. Clean man. Sober man.
Sober.
Yeah.
Never done a drug in his life.
We don't touch that shit.
Yeah.
Only
Analogy,
cigars.
by the way. We don't do drugs.
Yeah.
But let's just say he's in a room, he doesn't do drugs.
Yeah.
I do. And I'd be smoking a joint or whatever it is.
Yeah.
He'll probably do it too, peer pressure. But I'm influencing myself first to influence someone else. That's what power is. You can't have power over other people if you don't have power over yourself.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
I think that there's a quote, I think we've all seen it, right? Which is something, like you told me your English teacher, that quote you had from Robert Frost, right?
Yeah.
My Muay Thai gym, when I used to do Muay Thai a lot, right? Jean Carrillo Muay Thai, I'll give him a shout out. He's over here. I'll give him a shout out this time. Jean Carrillo Muay Thai. He has a quote, and in his gym, he has a quote right in the front. I don't know who it's by, but the quote goes something like, the man who's more powerful is not the man that conquers 1,000 men, but the man who conquers himself, right? If someone can figure out what that quote is, I'd appreciate it, but that's the quote that used to stick with me. And when I saw that quote in the Muay Thai gym, I was like, fuck, dude, you know what? Fucking, everyone looks up to these, like, Andrew Tate, great guy, good inspiration, but people look up to these people and want to be them, like, fucking mimic them. Dude, just be the best version of yourself. Exactly. You might be inspired by something. Like I told you, right? Tristan Tate wears suits. I'm like, you know what? Fuck, that's actually smart. You want to present yourself in the best possible manner. Suits are a good investment. I like that.
Yeah,
Cigars,
it makes you feel good.
Oh, it makes you feel like $1 million,
Yeah.
And so cigars. I was already smoking cigars before. I was smoking it more for the effect that it was giving me, not more so much of, oh yes, I'm going to smoke this cigar because of its fanciness. But I decided to start doing that, and I was like, you know what? Actually, this is a nicer way to indulge myself. Fair enough, right? But I think, as a person, the biggest thing you can do, and we just all said it, and the biggest power you can have is learning to fucking conquer yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people have depression, anxiety, things like this. I used to have that thing, But I told myself, I said, listen, so many people go and see these therapists, or so many people go and get medicated, right? And I get it. Some people actually have a medical thing where the chemical imbalance or whatever. But what I decided to do one day is I had a very dark time in my life in high school. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. If I can get this low with myself, good. If I can get this low, good. Because nothing is the fucking rock bottom, because I've been there now. So if that's the case, then fuck it. Let's go for it.
This is rock bottom. The only way is
let's eat then. Yeah. Let's fucking go then. Let's be fearless. Let's go and pursue it, right? And so I think you have to have that mindset. And that mindset is, dude, in this world, you're born with yourself and you leave with yourself. You have friends, you have family, but they're not going to be with you in that coffin when you go, right? You're with yourself. So as soon as you can come to terms with you being your best friend, bro, you'll make so many people more happy. Like you said, you'll get more friends. You'll get more people to influence you, right? More people will be like, fucking, what is it about Shyam, man? This fucking guy, he's sitting with himself and he's giggling to himself. What? How? I gotta be around this fucking guy. That's literally how it is, though, you know?
I literally sit by myself for at least 2 hours every day.
Good.
And I think there's a quote that says, if you can't sit with yourself alone, you're in bad company.
Hell, I like that quote. That's so fucking good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it is. You yourself should be your best friend as well,
100%, bro.
Because that's where everything else comes from. Your perspective of life changes when you love yourself.
Yep.
And so everything stems from you. And I think it's just the knowledge. People just need to grasp that knowledge. They've been looking for the answers outside of them for so long. Yeah. But when they finally understand that it was them that they needed to seek, it's within. And, whether that's for the first time you're listening to this on the podcast or you're listening to it from someone else, like, I'm happy that more people are being aware that it's within and not outside.
Yeah. I think the way you said it was beautiful, bro. Because I think all the answers, like you see all these gurus and these spiritual leaders saying, religion is all within yourself, and everyone says, what the hell is this guy smoking, right? But it's what you just said, which is it's you becoming so intimate with yourself. One thing I wanted to mention is like my grandma, right? I love her. We talk every day, like seriously, have chai in the mornings, fucking fantastic. Yeah. Love that woman. And I asked her one day, because she had to deal with the death of her partner, her life partner, my grandfather, right? And they immigrated twice. They immigrated once from India to England, and then from England to the US. Wow. So they immigrated twice. And this was like back in 50s, 60s, like back in the day. Yeah. And so I asked my grandma, because he passed early on. I didn't get the pleasure of meeting him. I said, how'd you deal with that loss? She goes, you know what I did? I reintroduced myself to myself. And fucking, I was like, holy shit, from someone that's 85 years old, that's fucking wisdom. And when she told me that, I was like, holy shit, in my life, I was in this crossroads, right? I was boxing for a long time, then I got a bad injury, and I was like, I have to get out of this. So I was looking for what am I going to do? What is making me happy? What will make me happy?
Yeah, the answer is always within yourself.
It's always within yourself. And guess how I found the answer? Just like you, I sat with myself, and that's exactly how I found it. Now, what if I didn't sit in? What if I didn't sit with myself? What if I was like, I'm really depressed, I'm going to go I'm going to go do weed, I'm going to go smoke this, Dude, fuck, man. I wouldn't be on this podcast with you. I wouldn't be wearing this nice suit. I wouldn't be where I'm at today, you know? So I think the biggest blessing, and I think the biggest thing that people should take away is, dude, the biggest and the only friend you'll have that's the closest and so true to yourself is, drum roll please, yourself. And that's the truth, you know? And you know what's funny is I think one person that's really inspired me a lot, and I've seen their growth, is actually you, Rom.
Me?
I know.
I'm on the spot.
I know. Yeah, we set this up just for you. No, but seriously, because if you guys don't know, I've known Rom. I've known him, dude, how long have I known you?
Since 2015.
2015, man. Holy shit, man. 8 years. But so I've known this guy for 8 years. And the kid he was in high school to the man he is today, I'll be honest with you guys, it's the true, how can I say this? It's the true living embodiment of what it is to be changed and evolve for the best, you know? And I think if you look at him, or even you, Shyam, from last time we talked, I can see you're more articulate with your words, and you know how to move a conversation even better, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's evolution. That's getting to know yourself. That's truly getting to know yourself, because I need to improve. I need to improve myself. And that's what both of you guys do. So it's honestly an honor even being in this room with both of you gentlemen. So I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Right back to you, brother.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Nice, kind words. Yeah. And we talked about solitude. I think that's what our main focus is when you're by yourself, when nobody else is around, there's no distractions, there's a place you go to in your mind that is unlike anything else, because that's where you can now see yourself. Your thoughts start to come to your senses. And those thoughts, especially if you're not conscious of them, they might seem scary at first. You know, there was a time, I believe a few years ago, where I wasn't always sitting by myself all the time. And whenever I had these thoughts, it would just be of like fear and doubt and worry and anxiety and all these negative emotions. And I'm like, okay, if this is what's in me right now, then that's what I'm probably expressing, right? Is fear. And that's my probably posture is terrible and all these different aspects, right? So I'm like, how do I fix this? And there's a man by the name of Jim Rohn who said, what you feed your mind, he said, your mind is like a mental factory, meaning what you put in there is exactly what's going to come out. So if you're feeding fear, like, you know, if you're reading the news and reading about bank robberies and murders and riots, that's what you're going to see. That's what how the world is going to look to you is going to be terrible because that's what you're inputting. But if you change it and start reading, you know, something that's positive, something that's uplifting, something about, you know, love and compassion and empathy, then you will start to develop those characteristics yourself because that's what you input. And so all I did was just start listening to positive things like over and over and over again. Gary Vee, Jim Rohn, Les Brown, all these speakers, like I could go on forever. I listen to it like every day. To this day, I have not stopped listening to those speakers and reading those books. And that's been the life change, is that simple fact of the change of direction. Most people most people don't even know which direction they're going in. They just leave it up to be. They're not even at the driver wheel trying to turn their direction. And so I was like, okay, I have control over this. Nobody else does but me. So why not change it to a direction that pleases me? And that's all that happened, is that change, that shift.
And I think, I'm actually looking right at your water bottle when I was about to say that, which is be changed. You know what I mean? I think change it's Darwinism, man. And Darwinism is for everything. It's the nature of life, which is evolve or die, man. You either evolve or die. And what you just said right now is you evolved, man. You changed, you evolved.
Changed, yeah.
You know? And I think that's beautiful, man, yeah.
There's another quote by, I think, Abraham Maslow, who did there's like a famous pyramid. We learned it in school, but he was great mind, and he said, you could either step back into safety or step forward into growth. There's no in between. So whether, you know, you're in any problem or your life is great, it doesn't matter where you're at. You make that decision every day to either step back or step forward, and that will change the direction of your life completely. And to step forward is not easy. Like it's not the most simple path, and it's actually the less traveled path is to step forward. But it develops you unlike anything else. It'll make you a beast. Like it'll completely change who you are. And it takes courage. It takes resilience. It takes literally everything you have to change. Like it requires everything. But when you do, I could tell you it's worth it.
100%. And I think, you know, it's funny. The way that my dad raised me, I always say this. Like, if it wasn't for the way he raised me, I wouldn't be the man I am today. He was very, very fucking tough on me. And one thing he made me do is do martial arts at a very young age. Like, that was something I couldn't get out of. It didn't matter how fucking tough it was. You got to show up. And the big craze now is jiu-jitsu. Everyone loves Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Everyone trains it. I used to do it before it wasn't fucking well known. Like, this was like literally in 2000, 2001, just when UFC was getting a bit grimy. My dad loved that shit. He enjoyed it. So I used to go to like train with Karen Gracie and all these people. Shout out Karen Gracie. I love that guy. Still trains in Rancho Santa Margarita if you want good training. But I trained with like some of the top guys. And dude, I remember my dad told me, I know you're going to have money. You're going to have anything you want. Like, you know, car, I got it. But I don't want you to be a fucking pussy. That's fucking his word. Imagine, like, 5 years old, you get that video there, like, fucking buckle up, boys. Here we go, huh? And so, honestly, like, I still remember, like, dude, I hated it. I hated fucking Muay Thai. I hated that shit. You think at fucking 7 years old, I wanted to take a stick and bang it on my shins all day with a psychopath yelling at me? Fuck no. But I did it. And like I still remember to this day, dude. Like there was one session I had. This was pretty recently, actually. This is like maybe a couple years ago, and I started to take it on my own for my own enjoyment. I enjoy it now.
Yeah.
I enjoy it in a way, and this is the best way I can describe it. I enjoy it in a way like a meth head needs meth. You know what I mean?
Really?
It's not like oh, I decided to pick this up. It's like I've done doing this for so long. Might as well continue it on now because I'm pretty decent. Let's continue on. Let's continue on. So there was this one session that I remember this fucking guy, he was throwing a low kick on me and I check it. I'm like, oh yeah, bro, I got this motherfucker. And my hands used to be a lot better than my feet. I was super uncoordinated. Mm-hmm. This fucking guy caught on to like 2 seconds that was what I was. Guy says to me, really nice guy. He goes, hey man, I saw it was your first time in this, like a new gym. Hey man, I saw it was your first time in this new gym. We're just gonna work on checks today. Me with my fucking egotistical ass goes, bro, I've sparred before. No, I'm good. This kid's fucking face changed. It was like I was talking to a fucking Care Bear. You know, like a Care Bear? Yeah. Smile like this to fucking deadpan. I'm gonna eat you for breakfast. This dude need me in the hip. This has fucked me up. He need me in the hip. I've never had a pain in my life where I feel like sorry, you can't walk. Like my brain, nope, fucking see ya. And I dropped like a sack of potatoes. I can't get back up. I'm like, fuck. He's like, oh, sorry, man, I went a little too hard. My ego still hurt. I'm like, no, I'm gonna try to. I get up, dude. Fucking dumb fuck, I didn't learn. He hits me in the same spot.
Same thing, yeah.
I drop again. I go, fuck, bro. But the reason I'm telling that is because it's resilience, bro. If I had never trained and in that moment I would have been screaming, oh my God, that hurts so much. I gotta leave. Not once did that thought in my mind come, I gotta leave. It's fuck, I just got all right, let's deal with it, man. Let's move on. And I think it probably also taught you to let go of your ego a little bit. 50%. You can't. I know anyone that trains martial arts knows this. You cannot have a fucking ego, dude. Yeah. If you walk into a boxing gym, jiu-jitsu gym, Muay Thai gym, any gym, and you walk in with an ego like you're the man, someone in that gym is gonna humble the fuck out of you. And that's what happened to me. So I think. I said this to everyone. Everyone should train. Everyone should do something that's really rigorous. Whether it being, it doesn't have to be fighting. If you can't, really
Fitness.
hard. Really hard. Fucking just some type of competitive thing. Chess is pretty decent, like Andrew Tate does. But anything that puts you on the pressure as a man, especially, will teach you about life. Dude, I've never once stepped into I never once did social media in my life. Never. I got 86,000 followers on TikTok. I kind of stopped that now because I'm pursuing something else. Don't want to talk it yet. I want to talk about it when it actually happens. Yeah. But I'm in the process of doing something for entertainment. But doing TikTok, dude, I had no recollection. All I know is, okay, like life, like fighting, I got to put the work in. If I don't put the work in, I'm going to get my ass beat. So let me put the fucking work in and see what happens, right? Yeah. You probably know it just as much as I. Same with you, Rom. The first video or first thing you do, it's not going to fucking blow up, dude. No. It's going to take hours and hours of you coming up with all these different ideas. Then eventually something sticks. And you're like, okay.
But you needed all those hours to become that good 100%. At whatever it is.
And that's what the only way that taught me that is martial arts. Because it's a physical fucking pain you get if that doesn't happen. And I think a lot of people nowadays walk around with no fucking real sense of the world, not knowing that in a real situation, you could be walking outside and say something someone doesn't like and they'll fucking punch you right in the face. That's life. And I think we've lost that sense of that's how it is. That's why now, you can talk to someone and they get all, triggered is the word, right? I say something that slightly offends someone and I don't mean to. Apparently their whole fucking day is ruined. You know what I mean? I've completely destroyed their world. Get a fucking grip, man. Listen, if someone does it intentionally, and chime in if you want. If someone intentionally is a dick, right? Let's say you come up to me, and I don't want to get political or anything, but say someone comes up to me and says, okay, my pronouns are they, them. First off, I had a big issue with this beforehand because I didn't know this was a pronoun, and this is kind of funny. I didn't know this was a pronoun, they, them. I didn't know in the beginning. So someone came up to me and told me, oh, I go by they, them. I was thinking that, they, them, it's them and their mother or them and someone else. Yeah. I was like, okay, who is we? and they said, they go, no, like, it's just me. And I go, yeah, but you said they, so I'm assuming there's two people. Yeah. I still don't get it. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Here's my solution.
I don't know how it is. Yeah.
Make a new word.
Yes, please. Shyam, thank you. Yes, please. It'd be so easy.
I know.
I'm sweating bullets when I'm trying to talk to a person to get a coffee. You know what I mean? Yeah. Fuck, bro.
It would just simplify things because we're used to they, them being plural.
Multiple
they,
people. Yeah.
But when someone, an individual, and there's nothing wrong with it. You can call yourself anything
do whatever you want. Yeah.
But it would just be a lot simpler.
It would, please.
If you got another word.
Please.
I like...
Oh, no, he thought of something.
No, I can't, bro. No.
You gonna say your college story?
No. Yeah, no. I wasn't gonna say no. Let's just put it this way. I've been around some interesting characters, and I tried really, really hard not to offend anyone. And an issue I came across is, what if there's a bunch of they thems in a room? Yeah. What's the word?
They them.
Days? The days?
Yeah.
You know, Shyam, I agree. There should be an extra word. I did meet
you
someone.
can make up anything you want.
Brother,
like,
I met someone that was a Zay-Zem. You know, Z. That's fair enough. I go by Z. But then I didn't know, by saying that, this is a big thing. When I was at my college, I said, "Oh, I go by Z." You know, as a nickname because of my full name. Yeah. People thought I was like that was my pronoun. So like I would walk around and say, "Z, could you pick that up for me?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, like, you know, I have a full name, but you know." And like I realized they wouldn't say he around me, and I'm like, "Oh, these motherfuckers think I'm like a non." I was like, "No." I remember it was an English class, right? English theater class. Yeah. And the teacher's like, "Okay, we're gonna do our pronouns." And I'm like, "Oh, these motherfuckers." This is the second day of class. I'm like, "These motherfuckers already think my pronoun's Z," you know? And I'm like, "So my pronouns are he, and him." And the whole class goes like, silence. And then the teacher goes, "Oh, I thought you go by Z. And I go, "Who's that?" And they go, "No, you." They go, "You." And I go, "No, I go by Z." They go, "Yeah, so you go by Z." And I go, "Yeah."
"Oh, that's my nickname."
Yeah. I said, "So I go by Z." And they go, "Oh, yeah." That sealed the deal for the whole fucking semester. That she called me Z all the time. There's no he, there's no none. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where I get confused, man. That's where I'm like, please. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just let me be. You don't even call. You know what? Just say you. For me, I don't want to be involved with this because, dude, I'm sweating bullets. I'm trying to order a coffee at a fucking a little fucking thing in LA, a little coffee store. Yeah.
Especially in LA.
I'm dealing with them all the time.
Yeah.
KC's Cafe. I know the fucking name. I go and I go.
Putting him on blast.
It's a good coffee. Good coffee. Okay. There's one guy there. Oh fuck, what's his name? I don't want to be racist either. There's a guy there who wears a nice looking hat. That man makes the best coffees. That's all I gotta say. But there's someone else that works there, and this someone else. I was having a bad day, really shitty day. Failed one of my finals. I'm walking a little depressed, and I'm like, "Excuse me, miss." It's exactly what I said. "Excuse me, miss. Could I get a double shot espresso, please? A little bit of ice and like a splash of milk." Excuse me, who are you talking to? "Oh, no, just the coffee's just for me, miss." Mm-hmm. "I don't go by miss." "Oh, sorry. Apologies. Didn't know. What are your pronouns?" "I don't have any pronouns." "Okay,
what's your name?"
No, and I go, "Okay, so what should I call you?" Actually, I don't like giving people my name, so... "Okay, so when could I get my coffee?" You know how fucking annoying that is? I shouldn't be doing these social gymnastics ordering a coffee.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Just tell me what your pronouns are and like let it be.
This harder than your final.
Brother, it was. And my final...
Failed 2 tests in 1 day.
This is fucking ironic. You know what my final was?
What?
Rhetoric and speech.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
That was probably one of the questions on the test. Like, what are the pronouns of this specific individual?
No, and the thing is, I don't have a problem with people's pronouns. It's just, you know, don't make it like a guessing game. Don't make it like Blue's Clues. Like I gotta figure out fucking 21 questions. Just tell me up front. If you tell me up front, I'll respect it as much as you want. Mm-hmm. But like, you know, like, what do you guys think about this stuff? I don't. It's okay. Do whatever you want to do. Believe when you want to believe in. But educate people, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I remember in middle school, this story, I had a friend, I think her name was Juliana or something, right? Mm-hmm. And we had PE together. And halfway through the semester, she came out. I didn't know about this. Like, I wasn't aware, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think I skipped school that day or something. Yeah. So she got her haircut and everything. So I thought it was just a haircut, like, you know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I disrespected her or anything. Like, let's make it clear.
So she had like long hair before.
Yeah, she had long hair. So I mean, I just thought it was fashion.
I would say anything.
So I would still hang out with her and everything at PE and stuff, and we're playing soccer one day. Mm-hmm. That was one of the lessons.
All right.
I'm so into this game, bro. I was like super competitive in the soccer shit, and she was on my team, and one of my other teammates, I was like, "Bro, pass it to her, man. Pass it to her." And then she looked at me. She got really angry. She left. So I was like, "Oh shit, did I say something wrong?" Like, I was actually like genuinely concerned. I was like, "What did I say wrong?" I wanted to. Everybody stopped the game. I'm like, "Dude, did I do something wrong?" And then they were like, "Oh, she actually goes by he now." Like, I was like, "Oh fuck, I didn't know." Like, like I wasn't aware of this. Like, so I was just like, "Oh, dude, if he told me, I would been like." Like, I apologize for butchering it, but I just didn't know kind of thing.
Yeah. It's a lack of awareness. That's all it was.
Yeah, that's what and
lack of awareness.
And the thing is like they criticize you for lack of awareness. It's like, you know, like you just said, if you would have told me, I would have said it.
Yeah. Maybe put a name tag or something.
Listen, fucking Casey, at Casey's Cafe, if I would have just been given something, you know, I wouldn't be there with a blank expression like, what what is this entity in front of me? You know? Like, entity. It's hard. I mean, like, you know, like, But
it's strange times.
I think it is, and I think even with going back, you know, jumping back onto Tate, right? Mm-hmm. I think the one thing that people can take with, and I think everyone would probably agree with this because this is a very mild take, which is he helps not just men or women, he helps everyone improve their lives. You know what I mean? And he's what he does is he highlights the uncomfortable truths of men, right? Like how many guys do you know? Like I know quite a few that are lost within their own ways as men, right? They're like maybe 22, 23, just got out of college. They have no fucking clue what they're going to do with their lives. And it's not even that. You ask them, what do you want to do? I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck. And that's what's supposed to be building the next generation of buildings and all this. Good luck, my friend. We'll be living in huts, you know? So that's why to me, I think a lot of what Andrew says is like that, you know, male, make the men strong again. That I think is the right thing, and I don't think anyone would disagree with that, you know?
Yeah, especially if that's what you want or that's what you're seeking. You listen to him and you're like, okay, this is something that I enjoy, like that this is something that I could look up to, and it'll put me on a certain direction.
100%.
The worst place is what you said, like not knowing anything.
Yeah.
That's the worst place.
That's the scariest
you're
place,
lost,
man.
You just feel like nothing's working.
Yeah.
And that's rock bottom. And I hope people that are watching this or people around the world see whatever inspiration it is. You know, I don't know what people like or what people's goals are or what people desire. Yeah. But what helps me the most is setting a direction. Like any type of goal, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be anything drastic, just set a goal, because once you start walking, once you start taking like one step towards it, you'll feel better about yourself. And when you feel better about yourself, things start to happen. Like it's just unexplainable. There's circumstances that start to come into your life that improve the way you are.
Yeah. I think one thing, I think he said this before too, Tate, but one thing I live by even before that, which is God only helps those that help themselves, right? Which is you see a lot of people that are religious and even like these people, right? Waiting for something to happen. Yeah. Nothing's coming. The only thing that's coming is if you take the step, right? Like a good thing, again, my grandma, we're talking about this. She was, like people think like, she was actually the president of the Sikh Association of Orange County, so she's super religious, And so she told me something. She was, it's so funny. I see these people talking about waiting for God to give me the handout. She goes, I said, well, if you stand in the road and cars coming at you, are you going to stand in front of the car and get hit by the car and think, God's going to save you? No, you got to step out of the way.
A similar story in The Pursuit of Happiness, but with Will Smith and Jaden Smith.
One?
Yeah. There was
I've never seen, I don't know,
There was Jaden, who was like a 3-year-old at the time,
this is before he talks about the politics of the world, huh?
He was
fucking this guy.
He was like a 3-year-old with his dad, right? It's this movie. And he's telling him this story. He's like, there was a story where this man was drowning and he said, God will save me, right? He said that God is going to come and help me. And a boat comes by. And he said, and the guy tells from the crew, says, here, we're here to save you, right? And he said, no, God will save me. And so the boat leaves. Another boat comes. And the other crew member says, come on, you're drowning. We're here to save you. Yeah. And he said, no, God will save me. And he eventually drowns. Yeah. And he gets to God and he says, God, why didn't you save me? I sent you 2 boats, dummy.
That's exactly. God only helps those that help themselves. Yeah. And I think the biggest thing is a cool thing my dad told me one time, right? Which was I was thinking about doing. Funny enough, I was just thinking switching my majors, right? And I was like, I don't know what I want to switch to, but I want to do something in entertainment. And my dad says, okay, what? Like what? I said, I don't know. I'm gonna make videos. He goes, okay, fucking do it. He goes, I have a question for you. He goes, who do you think is one of the greatest leaders or warlords of all time? I said, Genghis Khan, of course, And he goes, do you think Genghis Khan sat around years and years and said, how? No. He went on his horse. He went and claimed the first city and said, okay, now I have one city. Let me get the next. Okay, let me get the next. Okay, let me get the next.
Yeah.
Years go by, and now he has this whole empire. So his thing was, a lot of people want to be these things in life, you know? Like, a lot of people, to your point, want to start a podcast. How many people actually do what you've done, which is start it? Not many. And I've heard many people talk about it.
Yeah,
So,
I get so many DMs like, how'd you start? I want to start my own.
You just started, right?
Yeah,
but that's life.
How do you start?
You just go. You just take the step. And I think that's how God helps you. Is when you take that step, doors open. And the more steps you take, the more, if you're more perspicacious or you like to see a lot more, then you'll be. More you're perceptive, the more doors will open for you, dude.
Exactly.
If you're going to be like that guy drowning, fucking two boats coming along, shutters on, God's coming. God just sent you 2 boats, you idiot. You know, same point.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is like, and it seems like everything we're talking about today in general is take action, man.
Yeah.
Be fearless. Have confidence in yourself. Believe in yourself. Because if you're not going to believe in yourself, who the fuck will? And then take action.
Yeah.
As long as you take action in life, you'll go in the right direction. I mean, obviously, if you take fucking action in the wrong direction, you'll go in the wrong direction.
But at
take
least
action.
there's another quote by Jim Rohn. He said, with that exact same thing, he said, at least you'll find out quicker that it's the wrong direction.
Yeah.
At least you know. But if you're just in the middle and you're waiting for opportunity to knock, it's never going to happen.
100%.
You know, opportunity doesn't knock. You had to go and knock at it.
Yep.
And once you start opening doors, then you'll see, okay, this one's wrong, but you'll never know it's wrong unless you open it. You'll never know.
100%.
So just as long as you try things, you're bound to find something. It's the universe isn't like trying to hide from you and say, you see all this happiness, you'll never get it.
Oh yeah,
it's not saying
fuck
that.
you. Actually, you're meant to suffer, so go fuck yeah.
Exactly. The world is for sale. You just gotta grab it. That's
100%. Everything's got a price tag, man. Everything does. But yeah,
it's all perspective. It's what you look for as well. If you're looking for problems, you'll find problems. If you're looking for solutions, you'll find solutions.
Yep. It's you know, all these people now, they're coming around, they're saying, you need to ask the universe for whatever you want. Just if you actually do it and you tell yourself that this is what you're going to become, so many people, I mean, you've read like so many books, all of us have read so many research on, you know, successful people. It could really be boiled down into take action. Don't care about what other people think because you're traveling a road that's been less traveled. So know that no one's going to give you the advice you seek. Because how can someone give you the advice on a road they haven't traveled? They can't, right? But they can give you an experience of what they've been down their road. So take that experience and go walk. Because once you walk down that road, you'll figure it out along the way.
Yeah,
you know?
And you're meant to experience different things because
100%.
Your life is completely different than everyone else's. So if you're, of course, you could learn from other people, which is, you know, there's 2 ways of learning things. There's your experience and other people's experiences. So take from both. Don't just say, okay, just because this person did it a certain way, this is exactly how I have to do it. Instead, take some of the things that they learned, take some of the things that you learned, apply both of them, come up with your own conclusions, think a little bit, and then take action. Right? It's not just a one-sided thing. You know, always try to... For me, I always reflect on a lot of things. Like whatever mistakes I make, whatever things go wrong, I'm reflecting. How can I improve? And instead of dwelling on it, which I think most people do, they look at a problem, they look at their situation and they dwell on it. I look at what is the best case scenario? Like what do I really want? Because when you shift the energy, like wherever energy goes, wherever energy flows, that's the way you're headed. So if you're always focusing on the shit like that's around you, and the circumstances you don't want, more of the same will happen. But if you set an image in your own mind, every human being can imagine. That's the difference between all other life forms. We have that capacity to think, to imagine. And when we set an expectation that is what we desire, we start going in that path. And I think we could all, you know, experience that. Like maybe in... while you were fighting, you wanted to perfect a move. You saw the move happen. Before you took the action, you saw it in your mind's eye how you wanted it to be, and then you applied it. And if it wasn't that way, you noticed it, and then you kept on doing it. Until you perfected it. Right? So,
and I think that's everything.
Everything.
That's life, man. And isn't it crazy how people can overcomplicate and you can talk, I mean, we can sit on this podcast, right? And talk, you know, 8, 9 different ways about the same thing.
Same thing.
But it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
And it's the same approach to the same thing, which is you got to fucking do it, man. Take the step. And you know, this is a cool story I heard from, I wish I could tell you where it's from, but it's someone I know, right, along the way. But the story goes like this. Basically, there was a guy, right? Like this, I think they said it was in ancient Greece, but I think it doesn't really fucking matter where it is. But let's say it's ancient Greece. It was in ancient Greece, right? And there's these two roads, a fork in the road. And there's a sign on one that says, do not enter death. And the other one just a sign to the city, right? And this one kid's walking, and there's an old drunkard in the middle between the two. And the young man comes up and he goes, why is that one dangerous? And he goes, can't you read the sign? It's death, it's death. And he goes, but how do you know if no one's ever gone down that road? Well, that's what everyone's been told. Okay, so the kid decides to go down that road. What he finds is he finds one man on the top of it with a bottle of wine saying, come, join me. Because it wasn't dangerous after all.
Yeah.
And the guy goes up there, he goes, why does it say it's dangerous but you're here? And he goes, because I didn't want everyone to spoil the fun. And that's true for life.
I know.
Some things people say, don't do it. It's scary. Yeah. You don't know what's going to happen. But those people themselves have never done it. Then you go to the people that actually done it. They're living the best fucking lives of their existence. They just don't want everyone to know. And that's the thing about knowledge, right? Why do you think kings across history burnt books, burnt Alexandria Library? Because they don't want you to be knowledgeable. And they don't want you to think for themselves. They want you to be a slave in the system. And that's what the education system does. That's what all these things in the Western world do. Mm-hmm. It's how to make another worker. Not how can I make a CEO, right? How can I make another worker in the system?
So it's your responsibility. That's all it is.
It's always your responsibility.
And about like the fear, there's a quote that says, fear is false expectations appearing real.
I fucking love that quote. That is one of my favorite quotes because it's so true, dude.
Yeah.
Fear, by the way, is fucking bullshit. And I'll tell you this right now. Because really what fear is you're scared to do something, right? Mm-hmm. Go and face it and see how you do. Go and face it, see how amazing you feel afterwards. Mm-hmm. You don't want to go talk to that girl? She's going to say no. Who gives a fuck if she says no? Are you gonna get shot? No. Is this fucking Ayatollah Khomeini's regime? No, dude. You can go home and get a Starbucks on the way home. You know, people put so much emphasis on negativity or like, oh, this is bad. What if you didn't give a fuck about society? What if you didn't give a fuck about the negative outcomes and you just wanted to succeed and win? You will kill everyone. Mm-hmm. You will get whatever you want in life. And I think that's the biggest thing that's holding people back today is an excuse-based mindset, which is, oh, I'm feeling like this when I wake up today. Oh, I can't. No. Just go do it. Unless you physically cannot fucking get out of bed or there's something that's really holding you back, there's no possible way you can do it.
But even then, there have been people
always
overcame whatever the circumstances, right? Like I think Socrates said, circumstances don't make a man; they reveal him to himself.
100%.
So it's not the circumstances. Circumstances happen to everyone.
Yeah,
it's all everyone has problems. The rich have problems.
Yep.
But it's what you do about it. Mm-hmm. It's the perspective you have. It's the philosophy you gain, the knowledge you've gained. That's what you stand on. That's what develops your life. Circumstances, sure, it might look bad. Sure, it might, you might be in the wrong position, but that doesn't mean you had to stay there.
You have the choice to move.
Yeah,
and it doesn't matter. People say things are hard, right? It's all perspective.
It's all hard.
It's all perspective. If I took two people, right, and I told them, listen, you have to sword fight this fucking giant by tomorrow. Mm-hmm. One guy says he can't. I can't. I'm gonna die. The other one says, fuck it, I'm going to take him out.
Yeah.
Who do you think's going to have a better shot? Probably the one that believes in himself. Mm-hmm. So that's why I've never really gotten people when you don't believe in yourself. Because all that tells me is someone in the past has come along and told you can't do something and you believe them.
Yeah.
You didn't listen to yourself. You're just reflecting what someone else told you.
Exactly.
So if you ever say to someone, I can't, fuck you. Yes, you can. That's someone else telling you can't. You can do anything you possibly can. And this is coming from someone like me, which I'm no one fucking famous, dude. But the thing is with me is I've had CTE for sure, from brain damage, from all the shit I've done. I don't really give a fuck. And I've made myself in a way mentally that like, it doesn't really matter what life throws at you. You should be able to bounce back and figure out what you want regardless, right?
Yeah, even if the fear overcomes you, and let's say you do fail, now you know what it's like. Now
I'm glad you failed.
I'm glad. So that's a learning experience. It's not, you're not gonna die.
No.
For most people's fears, you're not gonna, just pass away.
Exactly.
You could continue to get better. You have unlimited at bats.
Yeah.
You could keep on swinging. It's not over when one ball gets a strike.
And guess what? And this is what I always say, like this one kid. There was one of my coaches that used to live with him. His name's Brad, Coach Brad Davidson. Go hit him if you want free training on braddavidson.com on Instagram, all right? And then braddavid.com. Brad Davidson on Instagram, okay? But his son is like coming through this world right now, and he's playing football, American football. And he wanted me to teach him how to do a little bit of martial arts, just some basic thing. And the first thing I made him do is I took like a pad and I said like, fight me. This kid's like a fucking small man, you know? He's like a little kid, like maybe literally the size of like my shin, dude, right? And he's like, hesitant the first time, hesitant. And I said, what's wrong? He goes, you may hurt me. I said, but you can hurt me, then I can't hurt you. And you see it like in a young kid, the wheels turning like, fuck, no one's ever told me that. Yeah. What I've just given him is a solution-based mindset, which is, yeah, shit's happening to you, but you can do something to the shit that's happening to you, you know? Exactly. You can't just sit and take it. And I think a lot of people, like we've said before, a lot of people don't have the knowledge or don't think that, yes, I can. Yes, I can.
They have been so
brainwashed,
or their paradigm is in this one direction or this one state where all they see is negative. All they see, and perspective is reality. So whatever you're looking at, whatever perspective you have, that's what you're completely in. You've boxed yourself in this comfort zone, and whether it's an experience or someone else that pulls you out, you're going to see that it's a completely different world, that there's more out here.
100%, right? Dude, I was driving the other day. Like, I was literally driving. I saw a fucking avant-garde ballroom dancing. I think to myself, I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to give it a go. Am I actually? Maybe. But why not? Because the life is so fucking, like, there's so many things you can do in life, dude. And you have such a small amount of time.
Lifetimes
exactly, dude. Like, there's so much life in such a small amount of life. Dude, don't be fucking negative with yourself. Don't be sad. Listen, while you're sad, you can go take a fucking ballroom dance class and meet a beautiful woman. Just saying. Yeah. A lot of things can be healed by action. A lot of things. And that's coming from someone that I said this before. I used to have really bad, like, depression or whatever you want to call it, dude, like where I wanted to kill myself. But I took that as rock bottom, as you said, and I said, listen, fuck it. If I can get this low, good. Because if I can get that low, I'm going to be ahead of my competitors because I'm willing to die for whatever I believe in. And I think that's the biggest thing. If you can literally sit on a mountain and be like, listen, I fucking believe in this till I die, and this is my essence, and this is what I live and breathe. Bro, people will love that shit. That's passion. Yeah. That's like, damn, this fucking guy loves your work.
The universe will literally get out of your way.
And because that's what you want, and it's clear. It's fucking clear as day. And if you picture it, if you see it, you can achieve it, but you gotta believe in it. And that's the biggest thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that belief is everything.
Belief is what made nations. Belief is what made Alexander the Great so great, dude, you know? That's what it is, you know?
It all starts with belief, man. Like every great leader, every great human being, throughout history has started with a vision. It might have not been real. They might have thought it was impossible. They might have been afraid in the beginning, but they did it anyway. Yeah. Courage isn't the lack of fear. It's you feel the fear and you do it anyways. You feel the fear and you continue to step forward. And you realize the more you do it, the first time I did this podcast, I was scared shitless.
Of course, yeah.
I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, right? So even setting it up, am I doing it right? All these worries, all these things. But I had to go through that to become the person I am. So I'm not mad about it, or I don't look at it as a negative. I'm glad I do it. And now I'm in the perspective where anything new I do, even if I suck, I just keep on doing it. And eventually you get good at it. You get 100%. Better. So
they say like losses is learning, right? Yeah. I remember in the jiu-jitsu when I was really young, the first thing I ever saw, there was a quote on the board. And the thing it said was, it's not losing, it's learning.
It's learning.
It's not losing, it's learning. And every single day when I fucking saw my dad through all the shit he's been through, and when I would go through shit, sometimes this motherfucker would be pissed at me. All he would say is, listen, it's not losing, it's learning.
Yeah, there are no mistakes. There's only lessons.
And that's how you get rid of fear, by the way, because the biggest thing you can do with your life is have what I think, you have these emotions that hold you back. Why do you need fear? People say fear is a good motivator. That's motivation, right? Because if you really want something in life, if I said to you, actually it's perfect. If I said to you, listen, man, I'm going to get you a fucking seat on Impulsive, or like, actually, fuck that. You're the new host of Impulsive. You would probably eat that up, bro. You'd be like, I want that. You'll make it happen if anything is given to you, right? There was never fear there. Now, fear sometimes is society's expectations, you feeling like you're going outside of that. And you're afraid, saying, fuck, is this what I'm supposed to do? Because you have no one to look for. Because as humans, when we're out of the womb, what do we do when we fall? Mom, dad, help me. You don't have that.
For everyone else.
You don't have that anymore when you have yourself. So you have to realize, okay, I can figure this out. Fuck this shit.
That's
Let's go.
true power.
You have to have that power, man. Yeah. That's why there's people that are like 5'4" mafia bosses. It's not about stature or size. You can find really big dudes that are fucking pussies. Seriously.
Yeah.
Right? But you can find guys that are like 5'4", 5'2", crazy powerful psycho guys. They walk in a room, they're like, all right, damn. Al Pacino, you know what I mean? Like, fuck, bro, yeah? But the reason why is because you have to be a predator, man. You can't be, and that's from Brad Davidson again. That's from him, actually, which is, you can be a predator or you can be prey, right? Prey has fear. Prey has, oh no, the wolf's gonna get me. The wolf says, fuck that. The only really fear they have is, I'm not gonna get that sheep. But fuck that, I am gonna get that sheep. Yeah. There should be no room. Burn the ships. Burn the ships. That means any doubt you have in your mind, burn it. Because if you're gonna go down, might as well go down like in fucking swinging, bro. Yeah. Don't go down sitting it, bro. Go down swinging. And if you go like that, you'll be a happy camper, man. You'll be living life beautifully. Yeah. That's what Alexander the Great, that's one of my biggest idols, right? That's what he said. Of every moment a man lives without fear, he is immortal. Dude, why wouldn't you want to be immortal all the time then? Shit's gonna happen. I mean, shit happens. Yeah. But be strong.
It's not that you'll never experience fear. I guarantee he experienced fear many times.
You do.
But it's not, don't let that immobilize you.
No.
That's the difference, right?
It should be a trigger. It should be a trigger that fucking, oh shit. I'm feeling this because I don't want to do it. Let's fucking do it now. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. That's what we gotta do. Yeah.
If your army is down bad and you got 100,000 people on the opposite side and you got to go to war,
fuck it, baby. Believe in yourself.
Let's go.
300, right? Man. The Spartans. Yeah. You think those 300 guys? That's what I love. Do you think those 300 guys were sitting on that hill? 10,000 fucking Persians, like, boys, I don't know if we can do this. They were like, fuck you. I'm better than all of you, motherfuckers. And they believe it. Like you said earlier, right? Belief, right? They didn't believe it to that. You gotta believe it. Even when people don't see it, you gotta fucking see it.
That's what creates the reality. Yeah. You win the war when you believe you've already won.
100%.
That's when the war is won.
And guess what? Big mind, but that's what having no fear is believing that you're gonna win no matter what. Yeah. Because if you believe you're gonna win no matter what are you scared of? Yeah. That's it. You know?
100%. And here's a quote.
Go on.
It's by some guy named Ramkota, but
that guy's a fucking G. That guy's
that's where I heard it from him.
Yeah, great philosopher.
But 98% of fear is fake.
100%.
Bullshit. You know what the 2% that real fear is? It's your flight or fight response. If a tiger is chasing me or a guy with a gun is chasing me, that is true fear. Because I am fearing for like my actual life, right?
But even that, you could also change the perspective and still fucking go at it.
You can sit and go, oh no, this guy's chasing me, or motherfucker, I'm gonna chase you. Let's see, bitch. Yeah. If you start, imagine how the perspectives change. You see these horror movies, makes me laugh. Sorry for cutting you off, but you see these horror movies, right? There's fucking 15 people, one guy with a knife. You idiots! Go run at the motherfucker, fight him. You'll beat his ass. But like,
they always walk into like the shady garage and shit.
Or
what are you doing?
Let's split up.
Like, what are you doing, you idiots? You know? But like, you can't look at life and you can't be a fucking passive, dude. Like, if you're gonna go, I hear all these fucking depressive emo kids. I'm gonna kill myself. You fucking dumb fuck. I'll tell you what. No, this is true. I was there. I used to. You know what? If you can kill yourself, be a Viking, bro. Go fucking die doing everything you believe in and die for your purpose. That's a way better way to die than, Tiffany left me on red. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to slit my throat. Dude, fuck you. You're weak. You're weak. Take that same mindset. Your bottomest thing. Good. Now I know where Tiffany left me. Let me make myself a fucking monster. Nothing's going to stop me now. Because now I've hit rock bottom and I've hit all my worst fears and I've faced them. Woo! Good luck to anyone in my way. Yeah. You can take this. It's the same circumstance, different perspective.
Different perspective.
You know,
that's all it is.
100%.
That's all it is.
Don't kill yourself. It's the dumbest thing you can do. If you have that mindset, use it and just go fucking like a straight arrow and go for what you want.
Why kill yourself if you can kill the opposition?
That's what I'm saying. Go kill the ops.
Yeah, because I've been there too, right? Where I was just like, it sucks. Everything is bullshit. Like rock bottom, like rock bottom. In high school too.
Yeah.
And even in college, I was just like very confused on life. I'm just like, what am I doing? Then I like, even like one of my best friend, like he knew me for like 10 years. You know, our friend Joe J.
Oh yeah.
But basically, he asked me this question the other day, but this was recent. He's all like, bro, I remember where you used to get like drunk and like cry and shit and stuff. What happened to those days? I'm just like, honestly, bro, I kind of woke up one day and I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
That's it. I'm just like, dude. And I just started believing. I'm just like, I just believed that I was a coward. I wasn't really a coward this whole time. Mm-hmm. And that's it.
It's who you identify yourself as that you follow, right? And if you're not conscious of it, of who you are, then you'll think that this is just how it is. Yeah. Because that's who your circumstances show. That's what your situations are. But once you have awareness, you realize, oh, I was just identifying myself as someone who doesn't talk to people, as someone who's scared all the time, who's someone who has anxiety. And of course, we talked about some people have these mental conditions. There's nothing, wrong with that. I hope all the best for all those people. But for most people, you could literally change how you identify yourself.
Yep.
And say, I am courageous. Even if you're not, just say that. Just believe that you are that person and watch those qualities come into your own being. Yep. And it's like magic.
100%. You know what sucks though? Like society now, I kind of saw this firsthand too. I would say like in recent times, the society wants like, especially men, to be soft. Okay?
Yeah, but don't listen to them.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
I mean, I'm not soft. Hell, fuck that. But I'm not saying being hard is a bad thing at all. Like, why should it be a bad thing? Like, let me give you an example. I used to be a very soft-spoken person. Like, you know me in high school.
This is very true. He's a changed man. He changed.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still like Rom, but at the end of the day, it's just like I realized I'm just
your
like,
personality was different back then.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I still joke around. I'm still like a cool person to hang out and stuff, but it's still like I don't take shit no more. So basically, when I was going through this change, I had this chick come up to me one time in a party. She was drunk and she used to be my friend. She comes up and she's like, I don't like you that much anymore or something like that. I'm like, what's up? Deadass, bro. Real story.
That's a fucking shit, but
yeah.
God damn,
I was sitting by myself having a drink and
that's funny as fuck.
But that's what's gonna happen to you is when you change, people are gonna this start to realize who's this person.
Exactly.
That's funny.
And
I don't like you.
No, but actually, genuinely, I'm just like, okay, you made your point, but I mean, you didn't make your point. You're like, make your point. I asked her. And she's like, I don't know, like, you're like so like overconfident now. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm overconfident. Like, why is being overconfident bad? Could somebody explain it to me?
There's a difference between confidence and arrogance.
That's what I was gonna say.
I get that, but like, people say when you're confident, like after that, I was just walking into party and I'm just like, have a sip of like only a little sip of vodka because after that I was just like, drinking too much alcohol actually lowers your confidence.
Good.
It's fake confidence, but that's a different conversation. But yeah, I walked in and like I just like. I don't even talk that much. That's when it intimidates people, when you don't talk, when you're quiet.
Yeah.
And that's when she came up to me and I was quiet. And she's like, you're so overconfident now. I'm just like, fool, I'm just sitting. That's all I'm doing. But I see what you're thinking. You see me as a different person, which I'm glad. That's what it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
And people feel threatened about that and they call that overconfidence. But I want people to be overconfident. If that's the case, be overconfident.
Yeah, Yeah, don't be arrogant, but be confident enough to hold yourself to a standard where you don't feel fear when talking to people. You don't feel like society has all this power over you, right? And of course, humility is one of the biggest characteristics to develop as well. There's confidence, there's arrogance, but then there's having confidence and humility. So that even if somebody tells you you're the best person in the world, you take that compliment, but that you don't let that compliment influence your ego and inflame it and say, I am the best. Nobody else is better than me, right? That kind of attitude, that kind of perspective, nobody likes that. Nobody likes when somebody says that they're the best, right? But when you have confidence knowing that you're doing the best that you can, right? And you have a way of being yourself and you're confident in your own skin and you're confident in how you present yourself, that will make other people want to do the same.
100%. I would say overconfidence is lack of confidence. Because if you're overconfident, then you're not really confident. Overly being something is like you're faking something. I would say it's just having the right amount of confidence, which is the right amount of confidence is believing. What does it matter what the fuck you say? you believe in yourself and you take yourself accountable for everything you do. That's the humility.
You don't need other people's approval. To be who you are.
You need your own approval. Like for example, I see it with you. Like I was noticing this guy, right? Fucking guy's wearing a trench coat. He's looking good. That's fucking confidence, man.
Yeah. It was also kind of cold today, but
it's chilly. Yeah, it was raining outside. But you know, you're confident. You know what I mean? There's no such thing as overconfidence, because if someone says they're overconfident, it means they're not confident. That's what I see. Arrogance is the illusion of confidence, is what I say. Because if you're really that confident, I've seen people that are very confident. Not once have I seen someone that's confident. If I say, hey man, you look good, they go, yeah, I fucking know I look good. I'll be like, fucking okay. So you think you look like shit then? Okay, good to know. You know? People that are confident, they mostly, hey man, I was going to say the same to you. That's a fucking confident person, because they know about themselves, you know? And I think what you said is so true, Rom. So many people are like weak now and soft. But softness is coming from the fact that they don't want you to be aggressive, because they think like being aggressive is a bad trait.
Exactly.
I think controlled aggression is the perfect thing you need. Controlled aggression is passion. Controlled aggression is drive, right?
There's a fine line between all these characteristics, 100%. Right? It's the refinement. It's knowing the difference between confidence and arrogance. It's knowing the difference. So when you develop yourself, you had to have self-awareness. When you're acting, you know, in an arrogant manner, know that you're acting this way and question it. Like, why am I doing this? Why can't I take this compliment and just offer it and be loving to other people as well? And that's how you develop yourself.
100%.
Yeah. So stay strong, kings. Like,
you have to, man. I mean,
don't step down.
What's crazy is a lot of guys are like fucking simping around. Like, by simping around, I mean like, women give you tests, right? And that's just how they are. Because I mean, fuck, if I was a woman, I would do a test. Because I'm like, listen, I want to see if what I'm seeing and what I'm perceiving is actually all that's what I want to see, right? If a girl sees a really fucking confident guy, dressed as like fucking good, in shape, 6'6", tall, she's probably going to give him a little bit of shit, right? And the way that she gives him shit is going to be banter or whatever it is. If you crumble from that, she's going to be like, he's a fucking phony, see ya. Most guys nowadays, they go, see ya. Because they think it's too aggressive to, you know, fucking argue back. Like what you said to that girl. She's, you're a different man. Fuck yeah. That's the way you're supposed to respond, because that's how I respond, you know? And I think a lot of guys now are thinking, I don't want to step on any eggshell. I don't want to do this. Motherfucker, you have to be a fucking beast. Like, you have to be strong. If you're not strong, you're going to get fucked over by everyone.
No, 100%.
And what's crazy is us three in this room having these conversations. Most guys don't have these conversations. Most guys are busy fucking smoking weed, eating pizza, sitting on their ass, not doing dick, you know? So I think you got to be accountable within yourself if you want true confidence and you don't want to be soft. Because, you know, no one's just going to give you a wand and say, abracadabra, you're a hard man now. You got to fucking go do the hard shit.
I think the first step, is most of the things that happen in your life is your fault. And you have to be okay with that. And it's a good thing. Like, the good things are your fault, the bad things are your fault too.
But that's where you get the power back. If you keep on blaming your whole life on other people, on circumstances, on the government, whatever it is, then you have no power. You have no control over those things, right? No control. But you have control over yourself.
Exactly.
So you could change yourself. You can do something with yourself. You could change how you the books you read. You could change the friends you hang out with. All those things are in your control. So that's much easier to control and change and go on a different path.
Exactly. And on a good example, let's just say, like, I ask a girl out and she says no. Before I say fuck that bitch, I gotta first realize there's something I'm not seeing. Like, all she said was no. Why should I blame it on her? No, I kind of want to take it personally in the level of saying like what did I like? Oh, maybe I'm just a bum. Oh, like, I'm eating pizza, smoking weed, doing dick. Of course she's not going to be with me. Why am I blaming it on her?
I wouldn't be with myself. You know, you gotta think like that.
Think about it like that. And that's what I kind of realized when I was a kid and stuff, and like, you know, going on with these chicks and stuff, and I'm just be like, I hate that chick. She did this to me. She did that to me. Now I realize I'm just like, bro, I was a bum. Of course. Like, why the hell would I be with myself? Like,
dude, I fucking got no in high school and shit like that. I got no bitch. I didn't know how to talk, dude. I think last podcast we talked, I couldn't even ask someone for a fucking pencil without sweating. Like, I couldn't talk to chicks, nothing. Then I went to I was like, fuck it, I gotta change myself. I gotta evolve. So I did, right? The one thing I realized is, like, I stopped giving a fuck. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna ask this chick out. Like, in my college, right? I literally walk by. I'll be like, excuse me, miss. I just saw you. You looked absolutely gorgeous. Wanted to say hi. Not even fucking picking her up, and I'll walk off. And I did that so many times, so it becomes a habit. Then when I actually see one that actually, like, excuse me, miss, you know, out of all the girls I've seen walk by, you're just something about you that's just something different. And they fucking eat that shit up and you have to leave them with silence because if you just you actually sit and
you're being sincere.
Watch the difference of Shyam. If I'm looking at Shyam and I'm going like this, excuse me, I just saw you and thought I was you were so cute. You're gonna be like, what the fuck is this psychopath? You know, Dahmer looking guy. Right? Now if I said the same thing and I say, excuse me, miss, I just saw you, thought you looked absolutely gorgeous. What's your name? Fucking, you're like, oh, I want to have a conversation with this guy. He's like a decent looking, right? So as long as you don't give a fuck, and the more you do, like, truly care about yourself and not the other person, and be like, listen, I know I'm not an asshole, I'm not a fucking jackass, I'm not a bum eating pizza. If the other person says no, it's maybe just not their cup of tea, and you got to move on. I think a lot of guys get caught up with like if one girl says no, and they go, my whole fucking life is ruined, you know? It's like, man, how many people are in the world? Like, what, 7, 8 billion? Or trillion?
I think it's close
billion?
to 8 now.
8 billion, right?
Yeah.
8 billion, and you're gonna get stuck over one girl named Nancy. Oh, sucks for you, man. You know? Like, fuck, bro. You kind of have to just move on.
You have to.
And don't take things, and I was gonna tell you, don't take things too personal.
Yeah.
Because someone else may see something in you that they don't like because they don't have it themselves. So they're gonna put you down because you have that.
Yeah.
So don't confuse someone saying like, oh, fucking, I don't like you, and being like, fuck, why don't they like me? Shit. Because then you might be fine. Everything might be completely fine.
Yeah.
It's them that's having the issue too. You know?
That's the thing too.
Yeah.
Once you kind of get this confidence and stuff, you're going to be a walking threat. Let me explain. I know it sounds like you're some kind of like...
Listen, I'm not walking around with a fucking 12-inch blade on me. I'm not walking around with a shotgun or something. I'll give you a hug if I see you.
I'll give you an example. Like going back to high school, like, you know, me and Zarek when we were like little boys.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Like, you know, it was just like, oh, we're insecure and whatever. Like, you know, a girl says no, be like, now, like, as we're much older, it's like, I don't take things personally. Like, if someone came on the street and said, like, fuck you, I'm be like, honestly, I would laugh. I would just be like, this is funny. I'm just like, I don't even know you. Like, some people, like, I have friends who would probably just get so angry, get out the car, and try to fight.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, what are you going to get out of it? But basically, what I mean by a walking threat is once you have confidence, people will start, like, hating you. Because when you're radiating something so bright, such as confidence, it's going to reveal their insecurities.
That's so fucking true, dude. And that goes for people that also have what you said, right? Which is fake confidence or overly confident.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If you're true confidence or true anything, right? If you put anything true in something that's fake, it's gonna expose that, man.
Yeah,
if I take a fucking a bowl of red dye and I put one fucking bit of water, it's gonna expand the whole thing, right? Because that's in a way revealing the truth of what's fucking in this shit.
Yeah.
When you have confidence, and I don't even call it confidence, to be honest with you. I just said that when you believe in yourself and you back yourself, when you really back yourself, man, fucking, who the fuck is this? You know what I mean? Who's this?
Yeah.
Who's this? Have they lived my life? Fuck no. So then why are they acting like they know me so well? No. And I think the best thing you can do is kill it with kindness. Because being a threat and being intimidating is two different things. Being intimidating is like someone walks in a room and sees you like, fucking, watch out for this guy. He's like a confident motherfucker. Yeah. Being a threat is like when I say someone thinks of me as a threat, right? It's like, fucking, this motherfucker might kill me. You know what I mean? There's a different edge. And I'm saying that you wanna be the how can I put this in a fucking way that makes sense? You wanna be kind but deadly, right? You wanna be a saint soldier, man. I love that phrase, saint soldier, which is people look at you and say, this is a good guy. But underneath that fucking good guy, you got a sword underneath. It shouldn't be the opposite. If you're a fucking brutish guy and then try to be a saint, that's good too. But I think you won't get as many people across because people have this image of like, he's a bit rough. I don't know if I want to talk to him.
When he walks into a room, I don't want to be around him.
I don't want to be around that. It's too much. And if you're open and I'm like, hey, man, make you feel good, everything's bright. I like this guy. He's a bubbly. Let's go talk to him. And if they start to fucking take your kindness for weakness and you flip it, that's better because then they're, oh shit, I was not expecting that. And that throws them for a loop, element of surprise.
And that's what a great leader is, right? Whenever you let's say you work at a job and you had a great boss, that boss would not be threatening. They would know how to handle, they would know how to deliver criticism in a way where you don't feel threatened, where you don't feel like a victim, right? So there's a difference between, trying to terrorize and then also trying to, be kind in a way where, sure, you could handle negative advice or negative commentary, but at the same time, you could do it in a sincere way. There's a definite difference, and that's what a leader is. A leader can spot the difference between those two things.
100%. 100%. What's the time? What's the time roughly? Yeah.
We're going at, I think, hour 37.
I think we're good. What time is it?
4.
Yeah, I got like 10, 15 more minutes. Okay. I gotta be back at 5, but
yeah, we can keep it going.
I'll get 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
We got an hour.
I have a client meeting at like 6.
Yeah, so we're good.
Yeah, I know, the time always goes by.
I know, dude. Really, I thought it was only like, fuck, I thought it was like 40 minutes. I was like, holy shit.
Even when he calls me, we're just talking about like business and life,
like same
right?
kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then it would be like 2 hours. I'm just like,
oh, fuck.
bro, you go to class.
You know,
but that's how you know when the conversation is real and sincere, is when you don't even think of the time. Like, I'm not thinking about
I wasn't, and I think the best thing is it's intellectual conversations making us all stimulated, you know? It's not like we're talking, hey man, you see the football game yesterday? What the fuck is that shit, bro? You know, I see a lot of these podcasts and people, they talk about useless fucking shit. I'm like, bro, like the things that we talked about today, someone could watch this and be like, fuck, man, these 3 brown fucks, man, I don't know who the fuck they are, but like this one thing they said about change, holy shit, that's true.
And that's the thing is, it's timeless. You could watch this 1,000 years from now, and it'll still be the same thing.
100%. And it doesn't matter. And what's crazy is, I like how, you know, when in the future, when this podcast gets even better and even more famous, we can look back and say, look how much we progressed, you know? That thing is so beautiful, looking back on the work you've done and seeing that.
We had these ideas, but now we got even better. Now we have...
Where's the evolution? What happened? What's the change? 100%. Be the change. By the way, I love Be Change. That's such a good brand.
Company, right?
Yeah, it's such a good brand. That's a fucking good brand.
Thank you, man.
What are you selling? You're selling...
T-shirts right now, but we're expanding hoodies, other stuff. Like, I designed the first 3 T-shirts and everything, and... those did really well, and now I'm trying to grow into more, you know, designs and stuff, and try to get other inspiration, because I don't like creating just by like sitting on a computer and then looking at Photoshop and seeing a blank canvas. Like I want to experience life and see maybe this movie poster. What font is that? And try to, you know,
piece things together.
Yeah, that's where the best creativity comes from, is like experiencing life and then putting it into whatever you want to create.
Dude, that's, you know what's crazy is now we're in an age where technology can do everything, right? And people are saying how AI is going to take art. I always say I don't think so, dude, because the thing about a human and AI is virtually going through experiences, which means it's compiling all these different experiences that seem to be the norm and take that approach. Whereas a human being has so many. Listen, we could take 2 guys that are fucking live in the same city, but they'll have 2 different households, 2 different religions, it's going to be a completely different experience. And the art that these 2 guys make will be so drastically different because of what they've been through, as opposed to an AI program. It's fucking meaningless, you know?
Exactly.
So I don't think it'll ever be replaced, you know?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because the art is a story.
100%.
Yeah, it'll help in its own way of inspiration. Yeah. Right? You'll take it as inspiration. Like what you're mentioning is DALL-E 2, right?
You know exactly what I was talking about. Yeah.
And they make those same people, OpenAI, that company made ChatGPT. Have you guys heard of that?
I have not.
It's amazing. It's it's like Google. It's like kind of an inquiry-based system where you could type in any question. Like some people have even written it a prompt, like an English essay. Right, write an essay on To Kill a Mockingbird, right? And a 5-paragraph essay, and it will write the essay.
Is it what is it?
Yeah, no plagiarism.
No plagiarism?
It'll fucking check out every box, whatever the book is. You know, it knows, it has the knowledge of the entire internet basically. So it will write whatever essay you want, and you could even take a video and say, you could copy and paste a YouTube video,
right?
And say, I want the top 5 points, and it will, you know, somehow get the transcript.
What the
and
fuck,
fucking
dude?
Get the points. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Why do we have this?
I was gonna say, why do we have? I would have been fucking. I would have gone A in anatomy. I would have killed it.
People are using it for like their college essays.
Dude, I would have been. Stay away from me. I would have been a doctor, bro. You wouldn't. You get a femur in your fucking forearm,
but
dude.
this is what it's exposing. It's exposing that. Why do we shouldn't be concerned about, you know, this is a terrible thing for the school system.
Yeah.
Instead, we should think of it as we're teaching kids like how to memorize shit, when the entire internet, anybody could look up anything.
Dude, you could fucking look up anything, literally anything now.
It's all there at your disposal. So there's no need to memorize. There's no need to, you know, stick to a certain rubric. Why not be more creative, do things that an AI can't do, right? We have that capacity. We don't have to just follow strict, here's a question and here's an answer.
Right.
Why not, instead of ask yourself, what's a better question to ask, right?
Yeah, well, it'll make you more of a critical thinker, right?
Yeah,
It'll make you actually use your
thinker.
brain instead of just like, when did Christopher Columbus sail the ocean blue? Whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
nah, fuck that shit, bro.
Right. Like what was the 16th president? Like,
Fuck if I know, mate. Yeah, I don't
Abraham
know.
Lincoln.
Abraham
Yeah,
Lincoln.
what
Yeah.
the fuck? And everyone else knew it except
I
for
knew
me.
it.
By the way. These
That's
fucking-
what I know, man.
I don't know.
I know.
Andrew Jackson. I don't even know when he was president.
He
I just
was
know
like-
he's president.
Ninth?
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think so.
Not
Somewhere.
ninth, then there we
like
go.
some at least
Obscure
top
one.
10.
Something like
First
that.
10. I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's so much that school wants us to memorize. But I think as time goes on, we're gonna realize there has to be a shift in the way we're teaching, because it's not about. I think there's another quote that says, "Education is not the filling of a vessel; it's a kindling of a flame."
Fucking dude. And I'll tell you what, that's not what we're doing at all, bro. My flame was completely fucking smashed in school, dude. Yeah, it wasn't kindled at all,
Yeah.
man.
No,
No one put
it's-
any fucking kindling in my fire.
Even in college, man, like
Yeah.
the other day, my sister asked me a question because she was trying to like start a business of her own.
Yeah.
She asked me all these questions about personal finance and stuff, and I've been answering it all to her. She's like, "How did you learn this? Like, did like college really teach all this?" Like, fuck no.
Yeah, dude.
Hell no, I hustled for this information, man.
Yeah,
I went out, like half the time was Google.com.
Yeah,
Google.
Yeah, man. You know, I'll share
Google's
this.
the best teacher.
Yeah, I'll share this funny story with you guys. I'm not gonna say his name because this is pretty fresh, but one of my close friends, right? So we're in college, right? And this is with plagiarism. And this fucking guy, you would look at him and think he's like looks like a professor. Looks like he's from Europe. I'm not
Really?
gonna specify it at all because I know he wouldn't want me saying this.
Yeah.
He's from Europe, and he's not used to the rules and regulations of school here, right? So he was in one class. I think it was like some type of writing class for something. He said it was bullshit. All you did was watch films and then write about the film. So this fucking guy, he didn't tell anyone. He didn't tell anyone, so everyone thought he's doing good. I'm like, yeah, how's your finals? Oh, yeah, they're good. I'm like, okay, man. I get a call from him. I said, bro, I fucked up. I go, what do you mean? He goes, I'm getting called for plagiarism right now. And like they called me and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what'd you do? He's like, oh, there was a paper I did, and, I'm not trying to do that shit, so I just fucking like found something on Google and pasted it. I'm like, you fucking idiot. And I didn't say anything at the time, right? He's like, yeah, so they sent me an email and I have to go meet with the teacher. Like, I'm like, okay, bro, don't fucking try to negate it. If they already have the evidence, you're fucking. He's like, no. They sent an email back to me with exactly everything I've done. There's no way I can get out of this. I'm like, all right, then you got to take it on the chin. So this fucking guy, we're talking about, he's nervous. He goes, I'll call you when it's done. He gets in the room, right? And this is what he told me now. So the teacher's in the room, and my buddy, he's been reading How to Influence People, right?
Yeah.
So the whole thing, yeah. So the whole thing is you have to he's like compliments people now. He's like, excuse me, like what I've been doing, right? He was, excuse me, I really like your shirt. Or, excuse me, you look really.
Yeah.
So this fucking guy. So he walks in the room, and the guy's got a dead face, and he goes, excuse me, I really like that shirt you're wearing. He goes, really? Because I don't. And he goes,
Damn.
and then the teacher goes, my buddy goes, well, and then after that I knew I was, fucked.
Fucked, yeah.
So then he sits down, and then, I was about to say his name. So then he sits down, and they're like talking, whatever. He's like, what you did was wrong. He's like, yeah, I know, I get it. And he goes, why'd you do it in my class? And I told my buddy, I go, you must have said something like, I just didn't have the time. He's like, nope. He goes, I was planning on saying that, because the course was so hard, I couldn't keep up. But because of the pressure and the nerves, he goes, oh, because I could, and it was easy. So he fucking told this teacher to his face, I could.
Brutal honesty.
Yeah. He's like, I could because it was so easy. And the teacher looked at him and says, okay, what do you believe you deserve then for this class? And I told Bruno when he asked that question, I said his name. But
it out.
Yeah. But I said when he asked that question, like don't say, like just say you deserve something way worse, right? He goes, all right. And so he goes, what do you think you deserve for this then, right? And he goes, I deserve to be kicked out of the school, like, pretty bad. He's like, and I should this, and he goes, I think so too. But because it's your first time, I think we're gonna let you off with just failing it because that's a little extreme. And Bruno goes, no, like, fail me. And the guy goes, oh, so you want me to kick you out of the school? And he's like, no, but if that's what you think I deserve. And he's like, listen, I'm gonna save you the effort here. He goes, you have a good rest of your day. Don't let this happen ever again. This fucking idiot, when he's walking out of the door, he doesn't say, I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. He goes, I won't get caught again. Walks out the fucking door, dude. So so at the end, I told him this, and I go, hey man, you do know that there's a website that you could just like completely do plagiarism-free essays, right? And he goes,
put
what?
it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes, what? And I go, yeah, you just put a prompt in it, like types it for you. And he goes, why didn't you fucking tell me that when I told you that? And I was like, oh, I mean, bro, you didn't even let me speak, so, you know, like, you're fucked. So now this kid's got a fucking notice on his thing. But the funniest thing I think about the whole thing is when he was leaving, my buddy tried again. And so when he's getting up, he goes, hey, I really like the decorum of your room. And he goes, really? Because this isn't even my room. Yeah.
Bro, you know another principle in that book is always own up to your own mistakes.
Yeah.
That's another principle is never tell somebody you're wrong. Always say you're the one that's always wrong. Okay, so I guess in an indirect
way, he did use the book then.
Yeah, but in a way he did use that principle, but at the same time he fucked it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys ever done like a plagiarism? Nothing?
I did once in biology, like in high school, 9th grade though. So like they didn't really give a fuck. The guy just like, I could tell you did it. Like you copy pasted the whole thing, just do it again. Like, and then I got an A in the class. So
fuck yeah. Okay,
yeah, because I think it's a learning lesson. You shouldn't that way of really reprimanding someone for a negative mistake, that will only make them feel worse about themselves. But if you teach them, okay, you did this wrong, you should, you know, I am gonna criticize you for it, but this is how you could better yourself. Like, don't make the same mistake.
Yeah.
But yes, some people, like some teachers might say it so brutally, honestly, that you're like frightened.
Oh, yeah, dude, yeah.
You don't want that kind of teacher or that kind of learning experience. Instead, teach them, you know, the correct way, and then they'll follow that path.
100%, man.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Mine happened publicly, like.
Oh, fuck. You were reprimanded in the public.
Yeah.
What the hell is this 16th century England, bro? What the
I feel like Andy Tate with like.
Oh, boy, coming out of the house.
Yeah, handcuffs. Yeah, and I was in 5th grade, and we had Worldly Wise, and you had to like copy the definition from the book or online, and you have to write your own sentence using that word. I copied both, bro. Even the definition. And Google had it, so I was like, okay, thanks, Google.
Yeah.
And then I got away. I did that with every Worldly Wise, like homework every week. Until one day, the teacher was like, we're in a computer lab, and she comes in, and she's like, Ram, I need to talk to you real quick.
Oh, fuck.
I go into a room, and she's like, your definitions have been so good.
Oh, shit.
Like, that's what I knew I fucked up. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So she's like, let's go on Google really quick. I was like,
oh fuck.
So you copied the first one, like the first definition.
You're done, bro.
I was 11. I didn't even know how to use a computer that well.
Shit, dude, you're done.
Everybody from the computer lab was looking to the windows. I'm like, bro, this is so embarrassing, right? She's just yelling at me. She's like, how dare you copy this? Like, you know how much of an offense this is? I'm like, bro, I'm not like doing like some like child abduction or something. Like,
you didn't bomb the school, you know?
I just plagiarized Worldly Wise. Like, I was like treated like a felon. She was so angry. She's like, we need to call your parents and everything. I'm like, what are you going to tell them? I use Google. Like, wow. Like, you know? Yeah, if my kid ever comes up to me like, okay, good for you, son. Like,
at least you could think by yourself and realize, oh, there's a better way to this solution.
Yeah, right? Exactly. But basically I got in big trouble and stuff. But yeah.
That's funny as fuck. You know what's funny, bro? Is in like 5th grade, we had like this, I went to like a private school here called St. Mary's and All Angels. So when we were there, we had these like IB tests, like International Bachelorette class, and you had to just fill it in. And you cannot fucking cheat. Like cheating's a big offense. Really? But you're just filling in the blank. So I'm sitting here and there's a kid right next to me, my good friend, Eric. And so he's sitting there and I'm just like, fuck it, bro. I'm not going to go to a IB fucking crazy school. I'm going to copy this guy. So I'm copying it and I'm such a dumb fuck. You think you feel this like bad. This was bad. And so I was literally writing on the thing, writing next to him, writing the thing. By the way, this guy next to me never studied in his life. Like, no, me and him barely graduated middle school together.
Somebody who already sucks at school.
Me and him both, like, and I'm saying this like truthfully. Yeah. My friend and me were technically by the state learning disabled. Like straight up, I was in the like with special needs kids. Yeah. I was in with them. So I had to deal with people that had like Down syndrome, autism, like all these learning disabilities. Just because this is bad. Just because I placed so low on the English portion of this test that I took because of him, right? So I'm copying off him. I'm reading the thing. The teacher walks right by, and I'm like this. And the teacher looks at me, standing there. My friend's right here, looks up, sees the teacher, face goes blank. I go, I already know. You know. Yeah. You feel that shit. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
You feel the presence.
Oh, fuck. And I was like, and he looks at me, Mr. Oakes, and he goes, so, getting some help from your friends, are we? And I was really like socially awkward. I was like, no. And the guy goes, well, then what were you doing? I was like, I was just learning from him. And the teacher's like, okay, come talk to me for a second. I'm like, oh, fuck. Takes the test. She's like, I'm not going to grade this. Like, rips it. I'm like, oh, God. And then we're sitting there. And she goes, I'm going to call your parents. Like, I got to make sure that they know about this. And my dad's fucking, my dad. Yeah. And I was young. This is like, I got called in like the week before because I was doing shitty in my school already. So, like, he comes in. I remember this. He's in a suit coming in. He's looking fucking professional, man. He just came from his work. And he's coming in. He's there. He walks in. And he goes, okay, what do you... Like, they didn't tell. They just said I did something bad in the school. So he's thinking I failed another test. I fucked up. He walks in. He goes, what did you do? Everyone's there. The dean of the fucking... Everyone's there. Big long table. He walks in. What do you do? He was cheating on the International Bachelorette Placement Program. And then my dad looks at me, looks at them, and he goes, right. So what does that do then for him? Nothing. He just wanted to make sure he doesn't do it again. He goes, you called me in all the way from my fucking job to bring me here because this dumb fuck of a kid I have was just copying off someone like a dumb fuck, and he didn't obviously use the R word, and I don't want to say that to get canceled because I almost did already, but he used the R word at the time. But he's like, this mentally challenged man right here, you're gonna call me in because he copied the answers? And they go, yeah. He goes, right, we're not taking him to this school anymore. Made me leave the whole fucking school, dude. I literally didn't go back to that middle school. I went to a different middle school. Really? And then, yeah, dude. That's because so of my dad got so pissed at this school because I got mad that I cheated on it. Because yes, he goes, does this help him get into high school? They're like, no. He's like, what does it help with? And it just helps with their rankings in the school.
Oh, that's
so my dad was like, fuck you. Like, fuck you guys. You called me in from work. And then I'm in the car with my dad, and he goes like, listen, if I ever get a fucking call from cheating like this again, I'm beating your ass. And I was like, never cheated again. Never cheated again.
That's funny, because I feel like all this shit happens in like middle school.
You learn when you're young.
Because I mean, middle school, there was this one like weird kid, right? He would always copy and stuff. Like, he had like no filter. We're taking a test, math test, I remember. And we had the office and stuff too. So I first looked to my left, and he's like, this on my office, right? So I was like, oh shit, bro, this is scary as fuck. So I let it go. I like looked at him, and he like, those like horror movies when you see the ghost like disappears?
Yeah.
Like shit like that. I was like, so I was like, okay. And then this man takes his hand around the office, pulls my test, puts it on his desk, starts copying it during an exam.
Got your test.
My test.
This guy's got balls.
He took my Scantron and my actual like paper test.
What?
And took it. I'm just like, what?
But you weren't even finished, bro.
No, I was writing. He took it. The fuck? So then I asked him, like, bro, can I have my test back? He's like, mind your own business.
You're trying to get your test back. That's your business.
This is a true story, man. Like, I tell my friends this all the time.
He said,
like,
mind your business.
You said, mind your own business. I'm like,
what the fuck?
Did the teacher at least like come in?
Yeah, I told the teacher. I was like, miss whoever. I was like, I need my test back. She's like, give it back. She like knows like he's a little like, he doesn't like, he misbehaves and stuff a lot.
Okay.
Or whatever it is. So she's just like, just give it back to him. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So, fucking dude.
And then I was about to tell him, like, bro, you copying from me is not going to benefit you, bro. Not because I'm moral. I'm just dumb as fuck. Like, I just want to tell him that.
Yeah. You just failed.
I'm just like, bro, like, my answers are not correct. Like,
you know what's scary? It's scary. Some of those kids you see, because they're not diagnosed with like mental health disorders and things at that age.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember I went to Irvine High School my freshman year. And I had the disabilities because technically by the state, I was the R word. I don't want to say the word, you know what I mean? But I was technically mentally disabled by the state because I had dyslexia.
You could say it if you were,
I know if I was, I could, but I was.
Yeah.
So the kids that they would place me in the thing with, mind you, my only little disability was I literally just like the words are like I wrote backwards, like my writing was bad. That's what it was, and I read like flipped. So they put me in this. I remember this kid's name. His name was Teachner. I don't know where he is anymore in this world. Teachner, scariest man I've ever met in my life. This dude was like maybe 6'6", played on the football team, but the screws went all the way loose, And he was in the same classes as me in these, mentally like handicapped classes. So I'm sitting in a math class with this guy, and the teacher's like talking to him, and I remember it was fucking scary, dude. It's like I was in a jail cell. I'm writing. We're doing the homework for the class early because I guess we're getting out early, and this teacher guy's sitting right there. And the teacher, he walks by and he goes, hey, teacher, we got to talk about like your participation in the school. This kid fucking gets up, takes his fucking desk, throws his fucking desk. Irvine security had to come take this kid, all within the span of like 5, 6, 7 minutes. And I'm like, bro, I got to get the fuck out of here, dude. After that, I stopped using all my accommodations because then I went back into regular classes because I was like, bro, I will fail all my fucking classes. I'm going to get stabbed with a pencil one of these days. I'm out of this, dude.
That reminds me. this happened in Northwood High School, actually. It was my senior year, okay? And I put off my PE credit till senior year. Like, so me and my
So you're like the oldest person there.
I mean, there's a lot of us there too. So, but it was me and my best friend took it together. So we're just like getting hype. And half the semester, I do this thing called rotations, where you have to like push-ups, pull-ups, then run a lap, like, you know, rotations.
Yeah.
And then our teacher was... it was the Coach Tui. Remember?
Oh, Coach Tui.
Yeah,
I love Coach Tui. A big, large white man. That's all I can say. That's
football
that's
guy. Very like he's very passionate about
very
his
hardy
work.
man. Very hardy
hard
man. Old school
right?
football coach.
So the thing is, if you're like half-assing your PE, he will get mad. So this one kid was doing it. He was doing push-ups like he was faking it, right? Looked like he was doing a little like missionary pose, right? Had to say it. Had to say it. So he tells him to get up, starts yelling at him in front of the whole class. So then we're like, whatever, right? And then we did the lap, and me and Joe are competitive, right? So we ran around really quick, and we came back. And then this guy was like a freshman or a sophomore, and his freshman and sophomore kids come running. They're like, bro, he's going ape shit. He's going crazy. I'm like, oh no, what happened? He comes back, his face all bloody, his hands all...
What the fuck?
Yeah. And me and Joe were like, what the fuck just happened? And he goes up to coach, and he's like, this is what you wanted, didn't you? This is what you deserve, or something. All this shit, right? The school cop comes in, all the security comes in, and we asked the freshman, like, what the fuck happened? So it turns out he took his head and just smashed it against the popcorn wall, like, repeatedly, because he was that embarrassed and angry.
What?
Very scary.
You know what? Teachner is very tame compared to that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Teachner never did anything like that. You know?
I mean, Coach Dewey was. I mean, like he was just a drill sergeant. Like we all got yelled at least once, right?
You know what's funny is when I was playing football with him, I changed. So I went to Irvine High School, then I went to Northwood, right? And at Irvine, the conditioning was so hard. They had a full-on session. Like, they put a timer on the fucking big clock, and you had to condition for that time. It was hard. When I went to Northwood, dude, it was like la-di-da. I was eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch every morning. I'd show up to practice. I'd go to the weightlifting room, and I'd be like, do I even have to lift? And I was like, no, dude, you can, like, go home. Don't even check. I'd go home. I wouldn't lift. And, like, the fucking... I coached Tui and me, dude. Barely talks, and I was supposed to see this guy every day for like weightlifting. Not me, bro. I'm out of there. Had a bag of Doritos. I became fat, dude. I was like, I don't give a fuck, man. So me and Tui, man, he was my boy because I just left. I remember. I was like walking, and I was like seeing Tui, and Tui's like, you got to do that thing. I was weak, really weak.
You guys probably didn't win the championship that year.
We went on. I don't think we ever won.
We went 0-12, dude.
We never won anything.
We went 0-8 or 2-8 or what? I don't know.
We were always with Irvine.
We were really bad. But I remember Coach Tui almost had like this silent language, me and him, because I'd never show up. And I remember one time he saw my ass leaving, and he looks at me, and he goes. I was like, that was the silent acknowledgement of he doesn't give a fuck.
He's acting chill because like all semester
he was
super strict, okay? Like all semester, and because we had to change our PE goals. If not, he's going to yell at you, right?
Really?
So on the last day, it was me and my friend Joe's senior year. On the last day, we were like, bro, let's come in jeans and let's come in like the brightest shirt. So we did, and then Coach Dewey comes to us and he's all like, really? You think you can get away with this just because your last day? And then me and Joe were like, come on, man. Like, we're graduating. Does it really matter? He's like, all right, fine. I'm like, that's it?
Yeah, you were expecting him to condition you.
Yeah, like, then he started smiling. Like, he was just, like, fucking with us. Like, I'm just like, bro.
Yeah. What if he did, though? That
would be bad.
What are you going to do?
We took a risk, man. We took a risk.
You took a risk and it paid off.
Yeah, I wore blue jeans.
Plus, if you're a senior, like, fuck, bro.
Blue
Like, you
jeans
basically
to
own the
PE.
school.
Yeah,
blue jeans. Bro, we were doing, like, bench pressing in fucking, like, sweaters, bro.
Wait, some Eastern European man, dude, just getting in there, bro?
Like, I'm, like, in Slovakia in the
just doing your weightlifting, man. Yeah.
As a senior, you definitely get a little leeway too. Like, I would be late to classes, my teachers wouldn't give a fuck.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I almost was truant because I never showed up to. You can probably. I never showed up to fucking. Dude, I never showed up to class.
Yeah, they take that seriously.
Yeah, I almost got truant, so I had to start showing up my senior year.
Yeah, like I have my friend. You know my friend Dheeraj, right?
Yeah.
Dude, this man's bro. I still tell him this till this day. He had crutches at one point, and now I'm like running to class because the bell already rang and we were out of campus. Yeah. And he's all like, don't worry, bro. Sorry, he didn't even have crutches. He's like, I have a medical bill because he just came from the hospital. And he's all like, just say that you were helping me walk. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
All right, fair.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm fucking this joke up. He didn't even tell. He just said like, this is what he told me.
No,
actually,
you're good.
He's all like, bro, who gives a fuck? We're seniors. She's not gonna do anything about it. Watch. We're gonna walk in 5 minutes late and you're not gonna do anything about it. I'm like, I bet. So we walk in together, and my boy, he's like, oh, and the teacher was like, oh, you guys are late. And my boy pulls out a medical slip and he gives it to her and he sits down. And then she looks at me, and I'm just like, fuck.
I was his assistant.
I didn't say anything. She's all like, all right, go to the office. I'm like, are you serious? Like,
damn.
I looked at my friend. I'm just like, I'll fuck you up
He
later.
set you up, man. He set you up. Yeah.
Dude.
At my high school, our campus has no gates. At Villa Park High School, there's no gates. Like, you could literally walk right out of campus. What happened?
Oh yeah, we don't have
We
gates.
don't have
either.
gates either.
I was like, hang on.
So let's explain for like people who are out of state.
Mm-hmm.
You know, California schools are mostly open. Like, it's you walk.
Except LA.
Yeah. Except I've
LA,
been
that's
to
just
LA.
like a fucking county jail, man.
County jail. Metal detectors and everything.
Most schools here are like all open, so you got to walk outside to go to the class, and all the doors are outside. So when I was a senior and I turned 18, as an 18-year-old, you're actually an adult, like a legal adult now.
Yeah.
So you could sign yourself out of class. You could literally sign yourself out. So I would go probably like after 2 periods and just fucking say, all right, I'm not going to this class. I'm just going to sign myself out. I would go get lunch, fucking chill the whole day. And then there's no truancy, no late. You just sign yourself out. You're like officially signed out of school for that day.
Damn. Why do we have this? I got caught.
Yeah, I say they didn't let me do that shit, but it's also because I fucking dipped all the time.
Really?
Yeah. I dipped, dude. I dipped
senior
twice.
year, I dipped so much with my friend. Like, I had a graphic design class, and this was towards the second semester, so the final semester. And he was in another class, like a physics class, only a few hundred feet from my class. And since we were like pretty much wrapping up, we'd get out of our classes, just tell the teacher we're gonna go to the bathroom or something. We'd get our asses, get in his car, and go to like Chick-fil-A, eat food, come back, and then just, you know, eat the food or whatever, and just hang out like outside of the class. And nobody would say anything. Like, we'd see security guards passing, we'd just say, "What's up, bro? You know, we're just chilling out here." They wouldn't give a fuck. They knew, like, what there's like a specific like fence that, or a railing that we would sit at, which is in the center of the school, and only seniors would sit there. So if any security guard passes through there, they know that we're seniors. Like, we have the law of the land.
It's
basically.
like the mob, man. They just let it slide. Turn a blind eye, man. Yeah.
As long as you're not doing anything stupid, like fucking, you know, going into classrooms and yelling different shit,
hitting a bong in the middle of the class.
Hitting.
No,
then they don't care.
Yeah.
Then they will care. But if you're just chilling with your friends,
They don't give a fuck,
they don't give a fuck.
Oh, damn, we didn't have that.
No, we had
bro.
we had SWAT Team 6 at our school, man.
Really?
They had a new guy now too, apparently.
Now it's
Yeah,
actually
I was
more
the
strict.
senior year. So
Fuck.
basically, we had this security guard, and then he left, and then they got like the SEALs Team 6 of a guy. He actually was a Marine, right? Oh my god! At first, he
As
came
a high
in.
school security guard.
Yeah, he told it. So Rome was saying, I don't want to cut him off,
Yeah.
but Rome was telling me that this guy, they were all proud of him because this guy was like a record-breaking bust of kids of vapes, right?
What?
What was it? Yeah, like
But we were also those kind of degenerate kids, though. Like,
No, I was a man of God, man. I didn't hit vapes. The only thing I did in high school is I like drank here and there.
Yeah.
I became a total degenerate when I came out of that, though.
this guy got me my first shot, though. So not too much of a thing.
That was bad. I passed the fuck out at
Yeah. Well, but basically, let's not expose.
Let's not expose,
I don't think
yeah.
statutory of limitations has happened yet.
not yet.
But basically, like the first day he came in, he caught like 16 people. It was like a record
What
in
the
Irvine.
fuck?
Yeah.
Everybody
And they made it known like this guy's a fucking G.
And the thing is, like, you know when they would come
They
to
probably gave him like a bonus or some shit. They're like,
Probably.
if you get like 10 kids, we'll give you another $500 or some shit.
something like that. And then he would be also the guy who would come in and tell people they're going home.
Yeah.
But he would come in like T2 Terminator. Like, he would come in and be like, he would be quiet. He would open the door. Even a teacher would stop talking.
Fuck.
He would sit there for like a good like minute. Layla, you're going home. I'm like, bro, why did you have to do such an entrance for that? And my friend, I had a friend named Preston. I don't know if you know Preston. Yeah, he was my friend. And he was sitting next to me. He's like, bro, why did he have to make that shit so scary, bro?
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I sweating? Like,
Yeah.
But one time, I think this will be my final story, but like one time, my friend was coming back from San Francisco, and he's like, bro, I need to go home. Could you hold my goods for me? Right? Like his pens and stuff. I'm like, bro, like how many? It's just like one pen and one Nick device. I was like, fine, I'll do it. Man comes with a lighter, 2 pens, and 2 Nick devices. I'm just like, bro, where was the inventory count? But whatever. He gives it to me. I'm like, all right, just come to, because his lunch, he goes to Irvine High. His lunch was my 3rd period. So I'm just like, okay, fine. Come at your lunch. I'll go for a bathroom break and give it to you. So he texts me. This man actually first parks in a teacher's parking. So I'm just like, already you're fucking up.
This boy, he's ready to get caught.
Exactly. And then I'm like, all right, meet me at this bathroom. So we go in there, and my old friend from middle school comes with him. So we're dabbing each other up. We're talking about girls. Like, I was like, yo, what's up? I'm like, all right, bro, I gotta go back to class. I'm about to open a door. T2 Terminator opens the door. I was like,
fucking love that nickname.
T2 Terminator. Bro, if you see him, he's T2 Terminator. And I was like, oh, fuck. And he looks at me with his glasses. Like he's scanning for civilians or something, bro. Yeah. And back then, I had like a little like scruffy beard, like glasses. So he just looked at me. He's like, and he walked back into the bathroom. And I'm just like, fuck.
There's no danger detected here.
Exactly.
I need to keep going.
Literally. I ran back and I'm like, bro, you could have got me in trouble. Like
that's
fucking
funny.
expelled.
That's funny. He's literally in his head. He's like, small Indian kid. No way, this kid. No way, this loser's got weed on him.
Yeah.
Keep on.
Literally, I know I had goods in my pocket,
he doesn't fit
bro.
the description.
Yeah. Like, literally, no,
I had goods in my pocket, bro. I'm like, yo, man.
My friend. I think.
We're about to wrap it up.
Yep.
This was a fun ass conversation.
Fantastic, my friend.
I'm glad you guys both came. You know,
man, double trouble, man. Double trouble.
Double trouble.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we did this, and I'm glad, I'm hopefully all you guys enjoyed it as well. Listening.
I hope you guys enjoyed it.
You know, this is a probably 2 hour conversation.
It's a big boy one.
That has a bunch of lessons, a lot of highs, a lot of lows, a lot of value. Hopefully you do something with it. And thank you again.
Thank you for having us. It was awesome, man.
Appreciate it.
Of course.
Peace.
Peace.